Hello ladies and gentlemen, and let me give you a very warm welcome to the Nova tournament, where we have a very exciting matchup for you guys today. But this isn't just any matchup. No. This is the grand finals. This is where everything has led up to. Everything from the hospital flicks to the hospital whiffs. This is where it all ends. But before we get into any of that though, let me give you a very lovely introduction. My name is Elijah Hart.
And I'm KJ Assassin, and we're here to, cast this lovely grand final for you. Now, like you said, Elijah, we got an awesome matchup tonight, and that is between Kill Squad and Naughty Sausages. They've both fought, through their respective brackets. Naughty Sausages was in that upper bracket originally, but they got knocked out straight away and had to fight their way through the lower bracket. Now, we both love an underdog story, and that's exactly what it has become, and they've made it this far. Can they go the full distance, or will Kill Squad, who's dominated in the regular season and in this playoffs bracket, will they, remain victorious? I guess we'll find out. But what about the predictions, Elijah? The predictions.
I had a little bit of struggle trying to check out these predictions before, because like you just said, we've loved that underdog story, right? We all do. Everybody likes to see it. Looks like Chef being the only person who's really sticking through though, and putting through that word that he thinks that Naughty Sausages is going to win that one 3-1. And I had a little bit of a skepticalism going into it. I was thinking, like, this isn't a BO3 anymore. This is a BO5. So this is really going to stick into how well these teams can hold up in terms of their stamina and their pacing. And we got to see a little bit of that from Naughty Sausages from their last game, which was not too long ago. It was on that Friday where they did a BO3 up against Bandits. And they were able to win that successfully, obviously collecting themselves the position that they are right now. And I feel like Naughty Sausages did really good in terms of their pacing. They were strung out through the entire BO3. So I think they have a chance, but look at how well Kill Squad's been playing. You know, I had to stick with them.
Yeah, I'm the same. You know, it also has the reason to come into play is that with Naughty Sausages, they've been playing, you know, these last couple days and couple weeks, whereas Kill Squad, they've had the time to sort of, you know, kick back and relax a little bit after, you know, knocking Bandits into that lower bracket. They've had the time to, you know, train and work out their strats and really lock in for this grand final. Whereas, you know, Naughty Sausages, they've had games rather recently and they've done well. But obviously on Friday, they had to do 2 overtime games plus that third map, which they dominated it in. But it can take a toll. So hopefully they have, you know, their wits about them and they're, you know, energized up and ready to go for tonight, which, like you said, is a best of 5. We haven't seen a best of 5 yet. This is our first best of 5, Elijah. So do we reckon that if we do get to that 4th, 5th map, it's going to start to really kick in that with the stamina?
I think it absolutely could. It really depends on what those very first maps are. Either the teams want to push it all out immediately, get through those comfort maps like as fast as they can, you know, already chuck out the Oregon, the Villa, the Clubhouse, you know, get rid of those as fast as possible just so you are really, really comfortable. And then go to lesser maps that you are comfortable in. Like maybe you're ending the BO5 in like a little bit of maybe a bank. I would love to see if we end on, but you know, I don't think we will. I haven't seen a bank, but with already Cafe and Cafe being picked, Villa as well. So a little bit of a less comfort map that we've seen. I don't think we've seen much of Cafe, if at all, KJ. So we'll be going to Villa next, then the Oregon, which I'm not too surprised of. The Border's going to follow up as our very 4th pick. And I'm really holding on to that. No, there it goes. There it goes. There goes the bank.
Not the bank. Yes, we're not going to be seeing that today, or Chalet. So, you know, all these maps apart from that Villa, we've seen Naughty Sausages play. So, you know, maybe it'll fit more into their playstyle. Now that Clubhouse being that 3rd map, that's definitely going to fit into their playstyle. So I can see why they're picking that Oregon Clubhouse. Like you said, it just favors the way that they play. But the Skyscraper to be that 4th map, and the Decider obviously being that theme park. Now, we did have that interview with Harry M the other day, and he said, don't take us to theme park. Who knows if it was a bluff or not, but regardless, it is that last map.
Yeah, no, he did say that theme park. It might have been a little bit of a throw off, just judging by the overall tone that he led us, but you know, he could be playing a little bit of a strat in the interviews, you know, giving false information to the opposition who's going up against him. So it could be it, but I guess we'll be heading into our very, very first pick of today. A comfort of Oregon, KJ, where they'll be able to face off against each other in a territory that they are very, very comfortable in. And I'm going to guess that this is going to play really well into the styles of both of these players, because we've seen how well Kill Squad hold up. They have the comfortability of that defense, but we've seen as of late, KJ, things have changed in Oregon. It has begin to become a lot more attacker-sided than usual.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of teams, especially in this tournament alone, they sort of know how each other play on those respective sites, and they can sort of work their way around it and start to really pressure them in those weak points of the strats. But Naughty Sausages, you know, they this is their map pick. They get to go on the attack first, because Kill Squad obviously picking up that defense first. But I feel like for most teams these days, if they can end that first half in a 3-3 split, we usually see the team that goes on to the defense usually dominate on maps like Oregon Clubhouse. So I wonder if that's going to be the case for Naughty Sausages on their own map pick, or if Kill Squad are going to, you know, pull out some cheeky things and shut it down. But the first ban to come out will be that knock, which we see banned so often. No lurk potential or cheeky nades in the pocket of her. But Naughty Sausages, they're going to be banning their attacking operator, and that'll be all the attacker operators locked in for Oregon. And it's going to be a Dokkaebi. We've seen them ban Dokkaebi on Friday, actually. I can't quite remember what map it was on, but they do love banning it out. So I think they like playing Lion and like that comfortability of not having those phones ring and the, chance that they could have their cameras hacked.
I think it was on Oregon as well. Naughty Sausages had banned their Dokkaebi on, because I think we were really, really surprised by it, because usually we would see teams ban off something like a Lion, maybe a Thatcher instead, maybe even a Flores to get rid of those Renterra drones, but no, we were surprised about a Dokkaebi ban, which is a good ban, especially if you're utilizing that lurk potential that is just crazy. When you're roaming upstairs, you don't want a lurker to be spotted out. Those roams can be hugely impactful if you manage to, get behind the lines of sight, which we got to see last time. Hopefully they'll be able to do it again. Fenrir and Solus to be the next defending bans to follow up as well, so I'm not too surprised about the Solus ban. The Fenrir being that new operator, a lot of people need to still work out and find some comfortability around that operator, especially how strong he is, some would argue. So getting rid of him, I feel like is more of a comfort thing than anything.
Yeah, I think it just means, a little bit safer on your entries, or at least, a little bit more comfortable, I'd like to say, because some people might not be as coordinated with dealing with those Fenrir gadgets as they would like to be. So like you said, just eliminating off the board eliminates that potential to have to deal with that. And Solus and Fenrir, though, both the new defenders, so a lot of these teams just think that those characters should not be in competitive play, and by banning it off the board they don't have to deal with it, but it opens up a lot of opportunities for other characters to be played, and we're seeing quite strong characters being played already on this basement side, that Valkyrie and that Mirror, which we do see banned a little bit on this map as well. So they're going to be really abusing that, and having the Cade to back it up, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle to get that unless you have a Thatcher, which they do not. So they don't actually have any pocket EMPs, Elijah. I don't know how they managed to get that hatch open.
Yeah, I did see them. They were running that Thatcher in the beginning, but I believe they've switched it off for something instead. Now, bringing that IQ, that could have helped, especially for those Valkyrie camps that you've got up to as well, and also spotting out those Cades, but when you've got no EMPs to work them out, I mean, it's all for nothing, really. You're just going to be able to spot util that you can't really destroy. So, if they so choose to play it safely, go a little bit like on the safer side of things and not have to worry too much about this lurk potential that Kulo is trying to pull off. If you do decide to go for a little bit of a bunker down and just play those crosses, not only do you have the Mirror available to you, but you've also got the Cade to close down the hatches that they can't get open because they didn't bring EMPs, but you've also got the Akiba barriers as well. That just narrowly and effectively helps you to hold these crosses safely as well. Akiba barriers, be able to turn a position that is completely unplayable to something that is so comfortable.
Yeah, that's the thing is, banning out that Fenrir as well as the Solus, it leaves characters like Azami up, and you do have access to that Flores, but they chose not to bring that either. So it's just so much to deal with such little time, and they're only just starting to pressure the site. They only can open one hatch, which isn't electrified, so that'll be that laundry lobby hatch. And Ben here, he is holding down Freezer, denying Jackal from pushing down, and Harry M is quite tagged, so if he does choose to take that engagement, he could fall victim.
On the side of Naughty Sausages, you got to be a little bit happy that Kill Squad didn't read into bringing any real denial. Other than that Black Mirror adding a lot of pressure, there's nothing really to slow them down in terms of smokes, to Chunker's ability as well. Not even Goyo packs. So really, if Naughty Sausages can win out their gunfights, but a TK, Mackenzie's got to find a kill in the process of that as well. If you can just win your gunfights, you essentially could win the round if you manage to hit the shots. But with the amount of factors of the Kiba barriers coming into play, also the ADSs and the Black Mirrors as well, also one way is being set up to just stop you and slow you down. It's a very hard thing to ask for.
Yeah, they're sort of just trapped here, especially Captain Oz, and they're forced to push through Laundry here to try and make something work, but they're just taking so much damage and nothing is being returned onto Kill Squad. Captain Oz and Harry actually find 2 picks of their own, so it's back to that 3v3, but time is ticking. Faulty's going to find one, Kulo to find another, and it's all left to Captain Oz. This is falling apart.
I think that all fell down to just the lack of utility that they read into. They really had to... They got the map control really easily. There was nobody really to contest that other than Kulo onto those back stairs, but he did manage to rotate away back to side to just play that bunker down strat. Now, if Naughty Sausages were actually getting some intel in terms of their droning in that prep phase, they would have realized that they needed to bring a little bit more things. Maybe some thatches, maybe some Rentero drones as well for the keeper barriers. Anything really that'll give you a little bit more control, rather than focusing on just pushing through these narrow halls and those narrow doorways and just getting cleaned up by the gunfights. Hopefully they're able to read into it this time. And it looks like they are, bringing a little bit more hard destruction. But it's too late. You've lost that downstairs site. They have to go back up.
Yeah, the thing is that when you have to take those extra steps to deal with the utility from Kill Squad, it's just going to run down that clock. And, you know, they did well in that later part of that round to find those 2 picks. But after that, you got to run into the crossfires of Kill Squad. If they play their cards right, they should win that round. But that's one of the defense's rounds on that basement site that we've actually seen being won for once, Elijah. And maybe it's a different story when it's against Kill Squad. But like you said, they're off to this kids' dorm site now, and bringing a bit of a interesting operator that we don't get to see all that often. That Malusi, she is used here and there, but not as often as we normally see.
I think they are sort of reading into the fact that Naughty Sausages might like those little lurks, those sneaky plays as well. And with the Malusi not being as strong as she used to, now you can just shoot them pretty much easily as soon as those Malusis manage to open up. It acts as multiple proxy mines, I guess you could say, and they are running more as well, as they had 2 on the side of smoke. So they're really not looking to catch any surprises. They want to know exactly where they are when they're pushing as well, so they're not really caught off guard by anyone potentially trying to get on the back lines of the defense.
Now, we do see them bring the Floras this time round, so going to be a little bit easier to deal with those keeper barriers. But there is mute on the board as well, so you got to be careful about running into those mute jammers. Now, we did see on Villa the other night that came into full effect with Captain Oz, so it can be deadly when those mute jammers are in place. So you got to be careful of it. But you do have access to this Thatcher this time, which they have brought, so good play by them. And they're going to actually open that breach hole back up, which Faulty tried to cover up with those keeper barriers. But when he's just got all this utility, but he's actually going to take some damage, and he doesn't realize the ace wasn't down, so he's going to go down himself. Captain Oz to find a pick from below onto Kulo. He's going to nade that mute just above top wire.
Well, Captain Oz is on a little bit of a lurk as well, trying to work his way up that white stairs as well. But Hale, he's going to take a little bit of an engagement inside through the sides to find some little downs for himself. Hale's going to be able to confirm a kill for himself onto Rice, though, and it's taken down to a 4v2 situation. Now, you've got a minute left. If the defending side takes it right, which he's in a 1 situation at the moment, Mackenzie finding his teammate downed as well, but Hale, he'll find that very last pick. And an attacker side with a little bit of an answer to the defense, as they are able to win quite comfortably upstairs than it was downstairs.
Yeah, a lot more composed from Naughty Sausages. They definitely knew how to take that site a little bit better and a lot more comfortable with it. They took their time, though, actually. You know, we usually see them, you know, take the control of the map quite fast, but they took their time a little bit. They ensured that they got everything that they needed, and then they continued onwards, and really worked out for them. They pinched the people in sight, able to get those downs where necessary, and then they pushed on through. So Kill Squad, they're going to give it another go, though. They think that they can fix the prior round's mistakes and hopefully shut down any more rounds coming out from Naughty Sausages on this attack. Now, Kill Squad, they're laying back a little bit than we're used to, Elijah. I feel like every time we've seen Kill Squad, they swing a little bit more.
I don't agree. We have to take into account that, yeah, Kill Squad, every single time that we've seen them, they are a little bit of a second half type team. And you also got to remember that it is a little bit of a BO5, so they could be conserving some of that stamina, some of that pacing that they don't really want to run out on. I remember the last time we saw Kill Squad, they were a little bit exhausted after playing for so long. But at the same time, if you're not winning these comfort maps and you go across in a BO5 to the maps that you are less comfortable on, you might find it a little bit hard to work back those map points, and you'll be in a really hard deficit to pull back.
Yeah, I think with all this intel coming from Naughty Sausages, they got to be careful. And like you said, you know, Kill Squad might be that second half team, but they also love with those comebacks as well, Elijah. So hopefully they don't put themselves in those dire situations where they're forced to make the impossible and come back from nothing. And hopefully they get their own advantage and can hold on to it. But Captain Oz, he's just holding the flank on these armory stairs. Usually you have someone on a drone there, but why not just put a man and punish anyone that is to come? And Kulo's going to be doing just that, but he's actually fallen off holding the flank. Hale is now here holding it down, and if Kulo times it right, he might find them here, but he's just laying in wait right now.
This is where the problem, I think, that lies with the kill squad defense upstairs, at least.
Oh.
In terms of that, no, Captain Oz trying to find that lurker instead. He will find his life is taken. Being completely unaware of Kulo's position, he's able to effectively find that very first opening pick in the round and remove him as well, which normally he is their entry fragger. He has those frag grenades as well, that terms of isolating those gunfights and maybe even finding some through the floorboards as well. So a very good early pick to have, but in terms of the defense, it is really working out for Kill Squad at the moment. They're doing well in slowing them down. I was going to say, before I ate my words with that Caster's Curse, that I feel like Kill Squad needed to add a little bit more aggression to this trophy side, as I felt like Naughty Sausages were getting so much control really early on. This time they've doubled up on it though, and they are easily slowing down their push, with still a minute left.
Oh. Whipping out the Deagle though, trying to find a cheeky kill there, but comes to no avail. But they're actually going to open that attic wall this time, so they can actually walk through that if they need to. And Hale, he's on this angle to stop anyone swinging from that pit side, but you got to remember that Valkyrie is up there near the wall, so they're going to be careful that no one gets there. But Hills, he's on the hatch, sorry, the window, watching near the hatch angle. Orion finds Ben, and that's that player there, so he might be able to jump in and pressure that person in pit. Mackenzie finds Hale though, so it's just a bit of a back and forth action here.
Well, there's been a down as well. He's on a little bit of a prone angle. Mackenzie's going to be able to connect onto Hill, so Attic has been cleared out, but Orion's going to refrag it on Faulty. Now do a 2v3, a little bit of a split for Naughty Sausages as well, as one of their players is on the main window. Rice are going to be able to hit the shot onto Orion and leave Harry all alone outside the double window. He's got a little bit of a leadway in angles in terms of pathways, but it won't be enough as Kulo is behind the bunks, ready to pick up that very last kill and secure his team another round in a row. Kill Squad gonna have to go to a different site now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, winning that one out there, and they can go back down to that laundry if they would like to. So that is available. I think. Maybe not. Might need one more. But if they do go to that tertiary site, it's always like a 50-50 with that site. I never know who's going to win it, because although you can be so good on the attack if you have that OSA, sometimes it's not the case. Sometimes you have those flanks come in and it just all falls apart. But they do have access to this site, so I was correct. And they're going to do that exact same hold that they did last time. They're bringing that mirror, they're bringing that Valkyrie for the intel, they're bringing that K to deny those hatches, at least for a short while. But they've got the Thatcher this time. They're aware that they're playing these K claws down below. So they're, you know, Naughty Sausages, they're adapting. They're not making the same mistakes as before. And that's what we like to see. We like teams that are aware of their mistakes and trying to fix them in the next. It makes these games a little bit closer and just shows the quality of the team itself as well. But Kulo trying to find any pre-placed drones here in meeting, so that maybe he can deny some entries coming in from this big tower side and really choke the time.
Yeah, with that Solus, it really forces you to use those eyes. Make sure that you can see if they've got any early intel, some pre-places that can really give them the advantage of getting control early, thanks to those pre-established information just being read into you. But it looks like Captain Oz already making his way, being the entry fragger into his team, the point in the arrow, finding control over shower halls already. There will be an early engagement though, a pre-placed C4 by the sounds of it, through the floorboards, which Captain Oz should be able to shoot out relatively easy, as he has already made his way inside of lounge, and the shower hall is being taken as well. Through the kitchen, they've got control, so they should narrowly be able to get this. Hopefully, the frag grenade being cooked doesn't be able to connect onto him, but no, he'll be able to get away with a kill as well, KJ. Getting on to Hale, who was the man with the Ren Terror drones, the Flores being removed.
Yeah, and, you know, Azami being in play, it's not somebody that you want to be losing early, you know. Realistically, the people, if you were to lose anyone, would probably be that Yana or that Jackal, but now having Hale off the board, you're not going to be able to clear that as easy, and you're not going to be able to open up walls like that freezer wall if you want to be able to walk through it later on. But they're going to be opening up these hatches instead, and they have the Thatcher to help with that. So hopefully no tricking to come into play, but I don't think there is. And Gonna move to this freezer side and start to, open up everything. Why not? They're taking out these Valkyrie cameras as well, so they're being spotted out. So doing quite well without an IQ to spot where those cheeky cameras are and shut down that strong intel coming from Kill Squad, which they like to play aggressive off. So shutting it down early, you're going to be able to make it a little bit easier for yourself.
Doing really well for time as well, and also getting that intel quite easily. A nice shot from Captain Oz to remove the pillar player of Kulo, and also forfeit control over Bunker, which Captain Oz is making a really good leeway into. Narrowly misses a kill though into the side though, but he has got regained control of the pillar. Narrowly missing the kill into Mackenzie, but he'll be able to capitalize on the lack of aiming going none there. But a little bit of drops onto E-Box will add a little bit more pressure as Hills is trying to clear out these angles to make sure it's safe for the rest of his team. Orion narrowly escaping to C4, and it does not connect, but he is looking to make way into the side so we can get that diffuser down. But quick hard right kill of Mackenzie, able to clear up Orion to find the double onto Hills as well to put down to a 1v4 for Harry to clutch back. But Mackenzie finding yet another kill into the round, and a fire play for him to secure the downstairs defense, and Kill Squad looking quite strong in the narrative that downstairs is their side.
Was that a 4K or an ace?
I think it was a 4K. Remember the Cade got the very first pick at the beginning of the round before he was able to rotate down the freezer. Yes.
So Mackenzie stole Faulty's ace. Come on, man.
You can't be doing that to your teammate. You got to keep that team synergy.
But in terms of synergy, Kill Squad, they're looking quite, locked in. They're definitely taking that break to, really hone in on that idea, and it's working well for them so far. Naughty Sausages still yet to respond after, these last 2 rounds, but we're seeing a site that we don't usually see in terms of the tertiary sites. We're not going to that meeting kitchen. We're actually going to kitchen dining, Elijah. So this used to be the site of choice for a lot of teams, and what you do is you hold that shower as much as you can, and you usually play someone with impacts to deny a Haban or an ace, opening up that wall, and usually have a shield in there to help you hold it as well if the wall was to open. And then sometimes players like to hold that top small tower as well, so I wonder if that is going to be the play for Faulty. Bringing that Frost, I think it is, and they're going to have somebody hold that top small tower. So I wonder if they're going to be able to deny all that utility ball might and that Jaeger, as well as having those frost mats for any jump-ins that do occur. So it's all up to Naughty Sausages on how they deal with this.
It's always a little bit of a nail-biting sight to see when a team brings a blitz. Looks like it's already getting into an early engagement now, as you can hear the peppermint of the sprayers go through the blitz shield. Nothing to really connect in terms of damage to either side of it though. But the big tower control has already been taken as well. The other pings to go out in terms of needing that to clear out these walls. But a meeting, C4 is not going to connect onto anyone, but a kill from Orion will be able to connect onto Ben. Still the point of the spear though, Captain Oz being able to run through meeting effectively, adding so much pressure to the clinking of the shield.
Yeah, and you have that ability to flash anybody that is close by. But we see Mackenzie. He actually went up that top white, so he might be on a little bit of a flank. But Captain Oz, he's got the same idea. He wants to take that gunfight to him. But Kulo, he's going to take the gunfight straight to Orion's head and shut him down. Diffuser will be down in meeting. But Hale, he's going to find the head of Mackenzie. He's going to find 2. That is Rice. That is your Jaeger and your Smoke. And now Harry finding the Wamai. It's all left to the Faulty on the Frost. The double F. It's just too much for him, though.
Yeah, not with that. Not with the entirety of the double wall into meeting being opened. There's nowhere to sit, and when you've got the clank, clank, clank of that blitz shield just running at you, your heart begins to race.
It's terrifying.
It is terrifying.
If I heard that whilst I was sleeping, I had a bit of a sleep paralysis, and I heard the clanking of the shield, you can guarantee I would try and scream.
It's a little bit of a PTSD moment. Right? You remember those old memes when Blitz was like really, really strong, and when you hear like a lion scan Dokkaebi calls and the Blitz running at you at the same time, a sweat begins to drip down your forehead, maybe a little bit of a tear, because at that moment all you can do is really take it.
Yeah, you just gotta hope to the siege gods that you hit the right shots and maybe hit it through a blind or something. But Kill Squad, they still have that lead. They may have had a little bit of a rough round the time before, but they don't have to go back to that site. They're going to that kids' dorms again and a little bit more comfortable. But the thing with that site was that they struggled in one of the rounds, so they got to make sure that doesn't happen this time round. Now, they're bringing that Thorn. We don't see too much Thorn in competitive play, but when we do, they're usually in pretty good spots and good choke points to really shut down the pushes coming out from the attacking side. Now, it's going to be interesting with the way that they're pushing this time. They actually look like they're going for a bit of a more of a big tower push.
I like the Thorn pick. I feel like that's their substitute for Melusi this time, because I'm just looking at the lineups of every single time that Kill Squad has ran this side upstairs, and they really like to know exactly when the opposition is pushing and where they're pushing, when they're pushing, you know, all of those aspects coming into play. They've got the Thorn gadgets, but they also love running that extra proxy mine as well. They like to know exactly when they're pushing. Thanks, Philippe. Doing a little bit of droning though, Harry. Got the Rentero drones as well to easily clear this deployable shield if it isn't shot in time by Mackenzie, the man dedicated there as well. Thorn gadgets being popped, giving away the positions. Hale making his way inside of Armory, being able to use this can open up a little bit of an avenue for you to get a long angle inside of Attic.
Well, the thing is that, you know, they've got the Melusi and the Thorn, so if they place those Thorn gadgets in pair with those Melusi Banshees, that could be a reckoning force to deal with. Hale, though, finding those shots onto Mackenzie. Gonna down Ben in the process as well. So it's all falling apart for Kill Squad. They're not being able to hold it down. Harry M, though, finding Rice, but Kulo has an answer back onto Hale. So we're back to a 3v4 if they manage to pick up Ben, but he's still down for kill. Oh! Captain Oz actually finds Ben down. Kulo almost finds the kill through the wall there. He tags up the Maverick, but he's stuck here. He's still holding on, though. He's got that...
He was on fire.
He almost had dog in him, but unfortunately, we come to that 3-3 split. The balance at the half, and now it's anybody's game. Now, you did say that Kill Squad, they are a second half team. Well, for their sake, going onto the attack, you would hope that they are. And Naughty Sausages, although a rough start to the map, they found themselves back in that second part of that first half.
Now, this is the thing. Kill Squad being considered a second half team, and we saw Naughty Sausages play Oregon going up against Bandits just about 2 days ago. They were strong in attack, falling down a little bit on that defense though.
Yeah, I think Naughty Sausages, they do sometimes, unfortunately, choke any leads and stuff like that, but they managed to hold it out on Friday. Can they do it again this time round? I mean, it is a best of 5, plenty more maps to work with, but why not take the lead right here, right now on Oregon? Your own map pick. You get to start on your map pick first, so why not win it out? But it looks like they're going to go to that basement to start us off, and seems to be the comfort pick of all teams that we see play on Oregon. And they're playing it a little bit differently, though. They are bringing that Mirror and that Cade, but they're running that Warden instead of the Izami. So I think, you know, maybe they can get their use out of it. They're not really running any flashes apart from the ones on Habana and Buck. So Buck's not actually running that extra hard breach if Habana was to fall. So if Naughty Sausages can find that pick onto Rice, that would be interesting.
Well, speaking of trends, though, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Both of these teams, very first round, not bringing the util that they need, and like it's it's one of the easiest things to grasp. And support players, that's your job. Then it's not likely that they're going to leave those hatches to be free for you. Surely you anticipate that at least some aspect. You need to bring something for those backups. Hale, nice little pre-place. Which I believe that Naughty Sausages, they almost fell to last time. Kill Squad tried to do that on their defense. Now they're going to fall to it instead.
Yeah, it's just something that you had in play when you were on the defense and you know, made that mistake of going into it. So a bit of a misplay from them. But Mackenzie is here on bottom white. He's actually going to do a fake Yana clone to try and trick the swing. But Warden's holding his ground. He's not falling for any trickery. any sorcery coming from Mackenzie, and he's going to clear the security angle and make sure that there's no one hiding in there. But he will spot out the warden on those freezer stairs. He's going to be able to rotate back down and play off that delayed intel that's coming in from Rice. Now, Captain Oz, he's trying to take these back stairs again, and Hills is actually in tier 1 in that cheeky spot that we've seen many times happen, Elijah.
Looks like Orion wants to get a little bit aggressive into the Zulu halls. Do believe that Habana can hear, but no, you're shut down. Hard breach gone, no can openers left on Ben, so he'll be able to rotate back down to the side and play it quite comfortably because now they have so much control over how this round is going to be played. With those black mirrors coming into effect, it's really hard to push through these narrow hallways and doorways. Hills finding a pick for himself, finding two in the process as Mackenzie goes into the crossfire. Pistol will be brought out, but Faulty's able to connect the kill first to find 3! Faulty putting the round on your back as they got way too aggressive to try to go upstairs. You've still got those black mirrors, so it's winnable for Faulty still, but you need to be a little bit careful in terms of how you decide to take this. Now, the black mirrors, both of them are being launched into Laundry and Freezer, but a little bit of a split take. Don't take those 1v1s, but no, they don't. Hale will be able to connect the shot first. That was looking a bit dicey, though. I was a bit worried. I didn't think it was going to go that way. They got a little bit aggressive, trying to push upstairs. Faulty. Nice shots there to try to keep your team in the round. It was a really good effort. But you lose a round in the end. And I got to say again, just twice now, I feel like that is solely based that you're not bringing the util that you need. Not only did your Habana manage to fall really early into the round, but you didn't bring EMPs for those hatches. Now, I felt like if you got that map control and you were able to effectively use EMPs, drones effectively, clearing out that map and opening up some more pressure, maybe some rotates with those skeleton keys, which I believe they should have done. I believe they did do. But when Hill can just retake like that, push himself upstairs and just catch you off guard out of nowhere in the middle of meeting hall, which should be your territory, essentially he's just gonna make everything fall apart for your team. And that's exactly what happened. If they don't be careful with their droning again, you're gonna see players like Hale remaining up in T3 who are gonna catch you off guard.
Yeah, when you sort of skip those steps with droning those positions, those rat positions that players like to hide in, you're gonna be punished all the more for it. So they're gonna be careful of that going into these future rounds, that Naughty Sausages don't do the same elsewhere. Now, they are on that kid's dorm site. They've brought some frost mats for any jump-ins, but it looks like Kill Squad, they're just going for this West Clear and taking this control quite quickly. So Hale is going to communicate to his team, but Ben's actually going to find the first pick on the Captain Oz. That's your pulse down for the count. That's your intel, or at least your main form of intel, being down already, and having him off the board. They're not going to have to worry about any cheeky C4s or shotgun swings from him, but they're making quick control, Elijah.
It's a huge factor to worry about as well when you've got a pulse with a shotgun running around through the lurks of this map with how many floorboards there are that you can just shoot through, especially on this side specifically. So getting rid of him is definitely going to relieve a lot of that phantom pressure that he brings and clear that out of the minds for Kill Squad so that they can solely focus on what they actually need to. Mackenzie's going to clear out some of that barbed wire, give away the sound cue though. They're really focusing on that intel, and they're going to be able to do so effectively as well. As you saw some yellow pings go out that really fed into the information in terms of that vertical play that they had pre-established for that take. So they're going to be able to be a little bit more careful of that. Intel block is coming into play as well and stopping the information that is spread on the side of Kill Squad and relaying it back to your team. Looks like they're really focusing on that downwards up at the moment as they're trying to get some kills from below, which I don't believe they have any grenades left.
Yeah, they're just trying to open up the floor with this ash and try and find some picks from that, but Naughty Sausages, they're just holding their ground, and Hills is going to do that, and he's going to shut down the Ying, and that's going to be huge for your execute. No more Candelas to be coming out, and it could affect the way that this Capital tries to get this bomb down, because I would imagine he's going to try and jump in from this double window. Now, Hills is trying to bait out anyone coming up these white stairs, and I think for the most part he is getting pushed, so he's going to be careful of that. But the fire is going to go out, but he's going to have this keeper barrier to cover him, but he's going to swing and Rice is going to take him out. So back to that 3v4 for for Naughty Sausages. Make that a 2v4 as Kulo finds Hale. Now it's all up to Orion and Harry. One smoke in the pocket though, so Orion can definitely deny any plant if he would like, but the defuse attack is going to go down. Harry is going to find the pick through the smoke, and they're forced to push in Elijah.
20 seconds. The last smoke canister being distributed on top of White as well. Harry's going for a little bit of a flank, which he is not aware of. Able to pick up that very first down onto Mackenzie, bring it down to a 2v2 as Kulo is trying to get that plant down the smoke. Be able to find yet another kill with a shotgun onto Faulty as he tries to go for the last. He's able to connect onto Harry. Kulo looking for that very last kill on the lurk though. Doesn't know where he is, but he connects it in the end. Kulo out of nothing. What in God's name?
Kulo. Wow. You know, he was the most recent addition to Kill Squad, and he's putting in the work, especially in that round. This is his game, and he is keeping his team in this. So they're going to go to that 4-4, what looked like was going to be their round in a 4v2 situation. Orion and Harry M, they held on. They got it down to that 2v1, and then it all fell apart for them.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
You gotta kick yourself for that in that sort of situation. Couldn't really help each other out. You were isolated. The smoke doing really, really well in terms of slowing down and bringing it to those last crucial seconds in that round. But Kulo is just feeling so sharp today. And you can imagine how happy he is getting that clutch and also bringing it back to that even score count. So you're really keeping your team in the game here. And I feel like this very first map is really important to both of these teams.
Well, yeah, just getting that map lead to kick us off here, it's just going to make you that little bit more comfortable, you know, in a best of 5 especially, because you have to win 3 maps. It's not a, you know, you don't have to win 2, you have to win 3. So winning the first one, it's going to save your stamina a little bit, because you can reserve it going forward, whereas if you lose this first map, you sort of have to crank it up in that second map and ensure that you win it to even things out going into map 3. But I'd say that, you know, even though Kulo was in that 1v2, Elijah, we forget that this is the side of Kill Squad. They like coming back in dire circumstances, and maybe that's just what they need to win the round. Just make sure that it's what you would think is an unwinnable situation and turn it into a winnable one.
Oh, Kill Squad, really good, calm under pressure, if anything else. So I definitely got to agree with you. They can pull it back, but hopefully that's not what they're solely relying on. And I don't feel like it's something that they really look for. I feel like it just comes naturally to them. When things look rough, they manage to, you know, find the light at the end of the tunnel. Speaking of finding the light, though, he was going to find it very early in the round, as Kulo on fire today, finding that very first opening pick. Captain Oz being able to get a blast of shrapnel to the face, but be able to get away very, very safely down to those bottom freezer stairs. But Ben was going to find an early pick for himself as well. But it's still all falling apart this early for Naughty Sausages, which is good for Kill Squad as the Candelas rain through. See if you can get yourself a little bit of leeway. The Candelas being able to find a blind, but also Ben finding a kill in the process onto Captain Oz, trying to rotate back to site safely. In a 2v5 situation you found yourself, and there's only 2 people left, KJ. Orion and Hale to clutch it back.
We've seen them in these situations before. I mean, Harry was the player to be up last time, but Hale is definitely popping off this game himself as well. So we can't count out Naughty Sausages just yet. Ben is by himself. He is quite low, so if Hale can find that kill, it could be different. But no, Ben, he's going to find the triple, and he almost flicked through the hard part of the bunk there, but he hasn't found him yet. I think he is aware that he's somewhere in kids, but it's just a flawless round for Kill Squad. And they find themselves back in that lead.
That is really good for them. That was a really strong round as well, a flawless one. So I feel like that is going to add a lot of confidence. And as we're heading closer and closer to that end, I feel like this is where Kill Squad really start to pick things up. A little bit of slow at the first time. Second half team, like we just said not too long ago. That might be what is putting on display.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's all up to where Naughty Sausages chooses to go this round. They are going to go back down to that laundry, which they were very successful on last time. But to keep themselves in this, they got to win this round. I feel like if they don't win this here, it's going to be quite tough to, you know, bring that 2-round back-to-back, and I think that's the real decider there. But once they get Hills back in, I think they can definitely do so. I think Laundry Supply, if it's any site to bring you back into the game, it can definitely be this one. But we do talk about how it can be attacker-sider sometimes, and with the way that Kill Squad are running it right now, they're actually bringing a shield of their own. They're bringing in that Monty. So we saw Captain Oz bring that Blitz earlier. So a Monty and a Blitz, never mind.
That's crazy. I feel like that's going to change things up. We are waiting for one player to come back in, though. So just in the meantime, we'll head back to our cameras, and you can see our very beautiful faces just while we wait for that very last player to join back. And KJ, what a game that has been put on display for the moment. Just a little bit of a tech pause, but as we got to see from that lineup, just really quickly, a Blitz, a Monty. Now that really speaks into two things, and in terms of how they're going to play it, whether they want to focus that bunker, which that could be if they're going for a little bit of a rush play. Not only will the spearhead of Monty be able to get them some control in terms of face checking that Black Mirror that is normally faced into bunker, but it also gives Blitz a lot of safety in rushing that elbow position where normally you would see maybe a smoke playing to try to slow them down, which is a factor you need to take into account as well. That smoke, with a lot of ticking damage and in terms of choking on those canisters, you need to be really careful.
Yeah, I think they were playing with our heartstrings a little bit. I saw them towards the end there. They were picking all sorts of different operators. They were picking Glaz. They were picking just about anything. So it'll be interesting if they do end up locking in that Monty or that Blitz, and how they utilize that. But we have seen it pay off for teams in the past. So if you can really push behind it and know how to play around a Monty, it can be super beneficial, especially, like you said, for that bunker take. Now, you know, Naughty Sausages, they can do things of their own to counter that. You know, they can bring the Goyo that we haven't really seen on this basement side from either team, which is rather interesting. We didn't see a smoke one round either. So it all depends on what they choose to bring. But if they do choose to bring that Goyo, I think it'd be super beneficial for the type of push that Kill Squad will be doing. But, you know, Naughty Sausages, they need this round. They are that one round down. I think that score is actually wrong at the bottom there. I think Kill Squad are on 5 and Naughty Sausages are on 4. So they have to bring that back, that round back, and keep themselves in this. Because if Kill Squad lock into that overtime and lock in that match point, I think it's going to be rather rough for Naughty Sausages to bring it back. But we have seen them bring it back from dire circumstances. They like to do a little bit of a Kill Squad themselves. So it's all in the air right now. It's all predictions. I'm not much of a theoretical man, but that's what we have to leave it to.
A different sort of story it would be as well if one of these teams genuinely, like, say right now, if Kill Squad are able to secure that next round, Naughty Sausages they fall just that little bit. It also breaks away a little bit from what we've seen so far. A team finding more than one round above the team prior adds a lot of room and a lot of confidence as well. If you manage to win 2 rounds in a row, and it really is going to get into the head of Naughty Sausages, I feel like, as it gets closer and closer to being able to secure that match point, which is one round away from it, KJ. Well, on the attack side, Kill Squad, they've got to hope that they can win this one out and actually bring the amount of util that they need for this push, as they've did play with their heartstrings a little bit, KJ. They're not bringing a single shield this time. Going with a little bit more of a comfort pick instead.
It is disappointing, you know. I was ready to see something magical, but it's okay.
We love
they
those
coordinated
plays.
We do. We really do. They want to lock it in. They want to ensure that they secure that match point, and you know, we can't blame them. But they are going to bring that lovely Ying that they love to bring. So hopefully if Ben can stay alive this time, then he'll be able to utilize those Candelas onto an execute. But they also have a counteract for that on Naughty Sausages. They have this Warden. Now, if he does fall on this rope, he can't utilize that ability, but he's actually going to fall back to Freezer. So maybe that ability will come into play later on, Elijah, and that'll be rather interesting.
I think that was why he should have rotated back down to side. Ooh, getting a bit dicey here as a little bit of a standoff is happening. Faulty making the choice and getting that intel instead, and Orion making the tough choice and needing to rotate away. And he's spotting all these pre-placed drones up here as well, which really gives away that he's upstairs. Now, he could be pinched. He needs to read into that and not be too careful about how he's trying to rotate himself back to site, because you can see they are waiting for him on the bottom of that white stairs as well. And Mackenzie's going to connect onto Hale, and KJ, that's the warden. He was down in sight. He came back upstairs.
I cursed you, Hale. I'm sorry.
The casting curse always comes in.
He, you know, he was alive for a short while, but unfortunately he did get taken out, and Orion is the only one left on this roam. He's just sort of waiting for anyone to push into him, and Q is actually going to find him through the doorway, and Ben, he's going to find Hills. So all of a sudden, on a bunker site, they've lost 3 on the top floor. So the roam was not successful whatsoever, but Captain Oz and Harry M, they have to hold it down for a minute 20 on the clock, and if they play off these mirrors and they play their angles right, they could find it. It's just a lot of work to do.
It's doable, but I mean, when you're getting this aggressive, obviously you need to work back some of these picks. Maybe, if you're lucky enough, you'll be able to find getting an early one, but the drones coming through, feeding the intel, is going to force you to go back into laundry room instead. And with no ADSs, no Wamai discs, 2 grenades still in the pocket of Mackenzie's, and all the Candelas and flashes in the world on this lineup, it's very, very hard to think that this is doable. You're going to have to pull out a miracle. Do God's work here if you plan on pulling this back, but obviously it is Siege. You know? You might just be him. You might just cook some crazy things up and get the clutch. A nice little clip for yourself as well. Mackenzie's looking to shut that down though, as he's pushed down to the bottom of backstairs as well. Finds the very first pick onto Harry M and puts Captain in a 1v5, and not if Faulty has anything to say about it. And Kill Squad, they'll be able to secure themselves their match point for the very first map of the day. Naughty Sausages, we've seen them pull back, but Kill Squad looking to shut this down as soon as possible and collect themselves an early map win.
Was that another flawless round for Kill Squad?
It was another flawless round for Kill Squad.
Their attack just seeming to be that little bit better than their defense. They definitely are playing off each other a lot more, and they're but I don't know if that's off the mistakes of Naughty Sausages on their defense, or if it just means that Kill Squad are playing really well and together.
I feel like that round
and in cohesion.
I feel like it's too much aggression, which you can't really fault for at the end of the day. I mean, when you're going up against Kill Squad, matching their aggression could be the play. You need to shut them down as quickly as possible. Getting those early picks, it's a very 50-50 risk, but when you play too aggressive and it doesn't work out for you the very first time, I feel like downstairs bunkering might be your best option.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Yeah, I think with a team like Kill Squad, if you don't manage to get that opening pick onto them, then they're just going to find the picks of their own on, you know, those isolated players. And if you're going to roam like that, they're definitely going to find that advantage, and then they're just going to continue to aggress onto the players on site. Now, if you are roaming, it's probably best to play with your team and try and find those crossfires, or at least that refrag. But we do see Mozzie here taking the gunfight straight to Mackenzie's head. He's going to prone past this window. He doesn't want to risk losing his life crossing back there, but they're on the hunt for him. They really do want to shut him down, but you've got that first pick. I think just rotate away and be happy with that, as you killed their main entry player, the one that takes the ground for them. So now they're forced to be a little bit more hesitant with taking that map control, as well as, you know, droning these positions out. You do still have those players upstairs in kids, so you got plenty of time to run down.
Now that you've revealed that you're playing this aggressive as well, it does add a lot of aspect in the back of the minds of the attacking side as well, because you could be in any corner, they won't be aware of it. And the Candela's coming through as well to be super effective against Captain Oz, denying his roam. Faulty being able to pick up the kill onto that and take it down to that even 4-4 again. And they're doing a little bit of a reset now. Making sure that the map is clear still though, you need to be vigilant in terms of your droning. As we've seen before, Captain Oz is very sneaky, but luckily you've been able to shut them down, but that doesn't mean that another team member can take his place.
That is the thing, and Kilo's just holding up these freezer stairs if anyone wants to walk up, and Faulty's going to drone this laundry, so they're just sussing their options at the moment. They're seeing what is available to them, and Faulty sees that Laundry is relatively clear, but he didn't spot out the one watching that long haul. Now, for the most part, Naughty Sausages, they're rather split with what they're holding. I mean, they're sort of forced to now that they are that extra man down. But Hills, if he can manage to find a pick on these back stairs and find his second in the round, it could definitely help with eliminating one of those angles. Now, Rice and Kulo, they're going to start to, Faulty are going to start to open up this freezer hatch and try and pressure this smoke on the freezer stairs, I would imagine.
Which they really need to clear as well, especially with the time ticking down as much as it is, and 3 smoke canisters on Orion's pocket still being left up as well, and he's remaining onto these freezer stairs, which usually we see at least one person push, but maybe they've read into this, and they're going for a little bit of a rotated play. Hills remaining under those back stairs, though, being able to capitalize a kill onto Rice, and he's still remaining okay, as he finds it down in the process as well, but the pickup will be made. C4 to go through onto meeting as well, being able to connect onto Faulty as he's trying to get away. He finds a 4th, a quad kill. Hills looking to get that ace as well as the pistol comes out, but he's inside. Orion's going to be able to collect the kill with the SMG-11, and a very different round for Naughty Sausages.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Hills, but that round he was feeling himself. He knew where those players were, and he took the gunfights to them, just playing every aspect of that sort of right. Although it seemed risky, he did it at the right times, and it really paid off for his team. And now that was the round that they needed to keep themselves in this game and in this map. So maybe it will be the catalyst that will start the train back to this comeback. Now, they have to win this round here, otherwise Kill Squad take map 1. If they win this round here, that means we get to go to another Naughty Sausages overtime, baby.
Which, look, I won't be surprised if we manage to hit it here. And Naughty Sausages, I feel like they do really well in holding up here. Hopefully Kill Squad, hopefully they can shut it down for them, at least, and that's the side that they're going to hope for as well. And with the lineup, KJ, they might be tugging our heartstrings again. They've got a little bit of a glass, right? They got the Candelas as well. The smokes on Capiteo, the fire darts obviously following up into that belt as well. So it could be a little bit of a double window type of vibe that I'm feeling, but
5 seconds to insertion.
you have to be a little bit careful of the shotguns. Obviously, Warden's still coming into effect as well. The pulse, the smokes. A lot of aspects that you need to be a little bit careful of. Not only that, but the frost as well.
They also have those double window vert holes that you can hold from security. So Kill Squad got to be aware of that. So I would hope that they take that bottom floor first before they go for any sort of play on that double window. But Glaz is probably going to hold that double window. Hold it down. Now, Mackenzie's very known for playing this Glaz. And he does have nades in that pocket as well. So he can shut down anyone playing near those that back dorms angle. Which I don't think there is at the moment.
Attic has been opened. Ben was the player to do that, utilize the can openers that were on Ying. So he's going to do a little bit of droning and see if there's anybody spotting out and trying to hold out and add some aggression to him. But he looks pretty safe at the moment. The only person who is close by him will be Harry M, I believe it was. So he's going to take that engagement, hopefully, as there is nobody there to back up the Candelas as well onto Ying. So if he gets that early pick, it could be huge for him. But Faulty on early picks to be able to find the pick onto Hale. And again, that's your Warden, which essentially could be the factor in winning this or losing this, with all these smokes and Candelas coming in.
I think Hale's just cursed with that operator. Every time he plays Warden, he is the first to fall on him, and it's always they always have these characters that have that ability to use. Now, if Capitao uses those smokes, Mackenzie can actually see through them. So I wonder if that's the play that they're going to be doing, or if they have other ideas in mind. But Captain Oz, he's back upstairs. He's feeding the intel from above now, and you know, we're just over halfway in the round, and Naughty Sausages, they're this one man down, but they're still holding out the time. And for the most part, Kill Squad, they don't have all that much control from above, but they are finding these picks, and Harry M is going to be the second to fall. That's your alibi off the board. So can Orion Hills and Captain Oz hold it out so that they go into this overtime, or are they going to just fall short?
It's it's doable a little bit. You've got a pulsar, you got those 3 smoke canisters as well, so it's all about how you play these last crucial seconds as well. You need to be a little bit careful of the candelas and stuff like that, which are now being dissipated all through the attic side as well, which Ben will be the player to take that one out really easily with no affection. Smokes are going to go into the side as well. The flash is up to follow. Hills is on the prone angle, ready to watch that double jump in as well, which will happen a few seconds as 2, if not 3 players are dedicated. Diffuser to drop as Hills is able to connect onto Rice, leaving down to a 3v4 now as he stands up. Takes a little bit of a different position, finds a second. Getting shot through the floorboards though, unsuccessfully, narrowly keeps his life together. Captain Oz with a shotgun to come at Hills to find a kill. A triple in the round for him, and Kulo is dancing around the side trying to find some connected kills. Captain Oz with a team kill, leaves it down to a 1v2, but there's no time seconds left. Defenders win that round out of nothing. That should not have been doable, but a throw, if any, has been made.
That was just absolute chaos. But Naughty Sausages, they hold on, they persevere, and they take us to that overtime for this map 1. So already, this matchup between these 2 teams already paying off to be a close game. Now, it was a little bit rough for them towards the end there. I think they were, you know, Hale having a little bit of a chuckle with Captain Oz there. But, you know, it's good to see that the mental doesn't get chalked from that. You know, they're having a little bit of a laugh. And I'd imagine that sort of vibe is going to carry on into this overtime as they've just won back-to-back rounds to get themselves there. Whereas Kill Squad, they're playing off, you know, a little bit of a loss. So they've allowed Naughty Sausages to gain this overtime. And they're actually going to go back to this kid's dorm site as they feel like they held it a little bit better than that basement site. So maybe a little bit of a repeat.
That was a really big throw on a Kill Squad side, I gotta say. Was that a 5v2?
I think it was a 5v3.
10 seconds to go.
And those 3 players, they just, you know, they really struggled with Hills, I'd like to say. They just couldn't shut down that Frost, and that's what started everything. From there, they lost their entire grip on the round. They rely way too much on that jump in to be successful, Elijah. And once that jump in is not successful, you've lost the diffuser. It's down. You're forced to jump in that window again or charge through the side. And they couldn't do either of the 2. So I think with Killscore, with that attack, they got to do something a little bit different. They can't. There may be something a little bit more standard, a little bit more classic, a little bit more basic. You know, because sometimes simple works. It's like cooking. You know, sometimes you don't need to overcomplicate the dish. You just need the correct ingredients, and it's all good to go. And I think they're going to do just that. They've got this big tower push coming in, as well as that master push. So they're probably just going to open both walls and choke anyone on the site.
Exactly. Stick to the basics, and you'll find that majority of them still work. If you don't want to overpower a dish, it'll ruin the flavors. Like you said, it's just like cooking. So hopefully they are able to work out those few little things. Obviously, getting rid of that pulse really early on, Captain Oz being a huge staple, and them winning that very last round as well, it's going to make it a lot easier for you.
Yeah, I think, you know, Captain Oz, he's just, at least in this map 1, he's not doing the same sort of effect that he usually does, but at least for Hale's sake, he's still alive. He isn't the first pick this time round, so he's going to be holding this attic, and if they do choose to Candela through here, he has that ability in his hand to counteract that and see through those white flashes. But Yana is going to push with the clone. But, you know, I've got some sage burning and stuff for you, Hale. I'm not trying to curse you. I'm trying to cleanse the curse. You've got this, I believe.
Why'd you speak? Never mind. Shut him down. Faulty being the man to do that as well. And through the holes, the head holes into attic, he's been removed. Candelas is still up as well as all the flashes. It didn't work out well for them last time, but hopefully it will now that Captain Oz and Hale have both been removed. A little bit of a lurk being happened downstairs in the Zulu halls as Hills is trying to get a little bit of a retake up those armory stairs. As the hard breach gets rained through to open up a little bit more of an angle to help pressure Orion, which is the person who's playing really close onto that trophy single. Now the flashes are going to rain through the side as well. A quick swing going to come into the side, but it's going to add so much choking as Rice is able to pull through to find the very first pick. Attic has been forfeited as well as Kulo finds a pick and leaves Hales all down into a 1v5. Now he's back onto the white stairs. Hopefully the sound cue doesn't give away of the barbed wire, but shots going to be rained through the wall. Kulo being able to connect to the head. And that's a different round for Kill Squad to start off our overtime as well.
Again.
A very common aspect for them.
Yeah, I think attack is definitely where they shine, but they also sort of struggle when coming down to those executes. So at least that time around, they definitely had it in the bag, and they get to secure match point once again here in overtime. But the thing is that Naughty Sausages, they like to bring it to the very last round. So are we going to have another 8-7 here, Elijah? That's going to be 3 8-7 games in the last, 2 matchups that they've had.
I mean, if the first map is this important to both of the teams, I can see us going to an 8-7. I think if Kill Squad really narrow in here, really lock into this defense downstairs, if there's any site to win, it's this one. So I guess you have that to your favor, but from what we've seen on display, Kill Squad were really strong in attack, so I don't know how well it'll be able to hand over to Naughty Sausages, who we've seen are just as strong on that attack. And hopefully they bring the right amount of util. In terms of those EMPs, which you've seen that both of these teams don't bring very often. You do have the pocket EMPs on Captain Oz. Thankfully, you're bringing that. But if you miss those Cades, which we've seen time and time again, teams struggle onto that E-box hatch, that it could completely change things for you.
Yeah, that is the thing. You got to be careful with where you place those EMPs, as well as staying alive. If you've only got access to one set of them, Captain Oz being the entry for his team, he's going to be able to survive throughout this round. Now, Mackenzie's going to take some damage, I do believe, from Garage or that lobby door, so he's going to rotate back and barricade that off. But the interesting thing is, with the way that Kill Squad plays, I think bringing this line is definitely going to benefit Naughty Sausages on this roam clear here. Looks like it's already paid off, even though they haven't popped one. All the players are back on the site now, so they can start to, focus these hatches and really lock down this control, ensure that their flanks are set up so that they can't retake this control. And hopefully they can, start to plan out and execute, and they've got plenty of time to do so. There's only been 1 minute, and they've already got all of this control, Elijah.
Yeah, it looks like Kill Squad are really honing into the fact that they want to bunker down here as well. So they're just setting up those rotates between the map sites as well, so that they can get to these hatches really, really fast. Now, here the X-Kairos on Habanas being distributed onto these hatches to see that you can open it up as well. One EMP already being used, so hopefully, well, it looks like they weren't tricking that hatch onto E-Box as well, so they are able to open it up quite easy as well. Rotate to do the second hatch, which I believe is going to be Freezer, so all this control being given away to Naughty Sausages this freely without being punished. I don't know if that's what you really want if you are on the side of Kill Squad at the moment. Very first pick to go at it as well, as Ben is able to fall onto hills and just make that much easier for the side of Naughty Sausages.
Yeah, and they've got this Flores alive to be able to clear these keeper barriers, so they're already paving the way for this execute. They've got 1 minute to do so. The Candelas are already coming out, though, so they're blinding the players here in Freezer. Captain Oz finds the second onto Kilo on the Wamai, so no more discs going to be thrown out from him, and the scans are going out. It's just a pure firefight right now, just bullets being traded, kills being traded as Orion finds Rice, Mackenzie finding Hale, and now it's all down to Hills, though. He is the Ying. He's pushed into Laundry. He's got the diffuser in hand. But he's going to find these picks. He does almost find the Cade. But Volti will lock it in. And that will be Kill Squad winning out map 1. We still have a potential of 2 maps to go. But we're off to a good start.
Kill Squad being quite happy, you can tell. Smiles along the face of their roster will shine through the screens as they are very happy of that very first map win. Congratulations to them, but we've got so many more maps left to play as well. A BO5, not a BO3 or a BO1, a BO5, so we've still got lots of Siege action for you guys to cheer on these teams. Kill Squad, Naughty Sausages. What a game that has been put on display to start us off with and begin our pace, and I believe it's only going to go up from here, KJ, as it's just going to get more and more intense as the time ticks on.
Yeah, I think, that being Naughty Sausage's map pick and them falling that little bit short, it might be a bit of a, one team takes each other's map and then it's sort of a bit of an interesting mystery game after that. But we'll see. as we will go to the next map very, very shortly. But already we've seen an overtime game to kick us off. And Naughty Sausages, unfortunately, they've had so many overtime games recently. I think they're going to be kicking themselves at that one. You know, I think going to that overtime, it does show that you have the stamina to go that full distance, but it also shows that you're struggling in certain areas and certain rounds where you could have won or could have ended it a little bit quicker. But the same for Kill Squad, though. Although it's not their map pick, we've seen them play Oregon plenty. So I think for both teams going forward, I think they're going to be careful how they play going into the further maps and the further game. But any last words before we go to that quick break, Elijah?
Well, no, I definitely got to agree with you in terms of those overtime matches. Obviously, they're a good testament for your stamina, but it takes a lot out of you when you're playing this many rounds in a row, especially when you've got so much more left to do. So, in terms of the stamina, let's let them take a breath, as we'll be going to a 5-minute break. If you guys are excited to move to that next map and see these teams face off against each other, will Naughty Sausages be able to collect that next round, or will Kill Squad find 2 in a row? I guess that's all for us to see, but we'll be going to that 5-minute break. If you're excited, come back then, and I guess we'll see you then. Until then,
see you guys
stay
soon.
safe, stay hydrated. Goodbye.
Welcome back, everybody. Now, we just had the first map between Kill Squad and Naughty Sausages being played out, and that was on Oregon, with Kill Squad taking that victory 8-6. So our next map will be Border. But Elijah, the first map and going on to Border, how are we feeling that it is Kill Squad's pick and Naughty Sausages have to bring this back to keep themselves in this?
Now, a little bit worrying, I would say, that it is Kill Squad's pick, because like we said before we head into our very first match, is that Kill Squad, they've had a lot of time to sit back and really prepare for this, zone in, as they haven't had as many matches as the Naughty Sausages have. So it really makes you think, in their preparation time, did they prep for Border? Do they have something up their sleeves to secure themselves 2 maps in a row? Or will Naughty Sausages, will they just feel comfortable here and hopefully be able to bring it back to a 1-1? I guess who knows? Kill Squad choosing to pick on that attack first, that it is their pick, so really zoning in on their strong suit. So what are we thinking is the scoreline for Border, KJ? If you got to guess, how you think?
Ooh, this is a tough one. Now, we've seen Border being played recently, actually, and Naughty Sausages, they're starting out on the defense. Now, when we saw Border being played between Bandits and Naughty Sausages, I'm pretty sure it was a little bit more attacker side than it was defensive side. I'm pretty sure the scoreline was like 5-1 at the half for the attack. So I think, going into this game with the way that both these teams have been playing, we might see another overtime game. But I feel like Kill Squad on this attack, now that they're starting on it, we might see a bit more of a 7-4 or a 7-5. But what are we thinking, Elijah?
I think a good aspect to take into account is what sort of operators they leave up to them as well, because that really changes things, especially if you're leaving those black mirrors up. But they left it up in Oregon, so they could just leave it up here as well. So you never really know. But I think we're going to go to another close game. From what Kill Squad and Naughty Sausages displayed for us in our very first map, it could be a little bit closer. But if I got to guess in which team that I think is going to take this one, if Kill Squad really did prepare for this, Border is not a traditional early pick to have, so they clearly want this, and they feel like that they can secure themselves around easily, then I feel like they're going to put something on display for us. So I'm excited for that, and if you guys are as well, let's see it kick off. As the team is ready, let's head into our map, as we're just waiting a little bit more, actually. I thought we were ready.
Yeah, I think they're just ensuring that they're all ready and prepped to go. But with a map like Border, it's super frag heavy. So, it's not like Oregon where you have to take those steps. You have to take a lot of map control. It's all about just finding that really good entry. And if you're able to find the entry without losing any picks, then you've got plenty of time to work out how you want to attack the site. Now, if Kill Squad do really well with that without losing any picks or finding picks of their own, they could definitely do well on the attack. But I'd imagine with Naughty Sausages, with the way that they play, this sort of favors their playstyle a bit more. I know that they picked Oregon, but I feel like maps like Villa and Border, which we've seen them play quite well on, I feel like it just suits their playstyle that little bit more. Now, judging with the way that they played on Oregon. I think it could go their way, but, you know, Kill Squad, they seem pretty locked down on their attack. They got, what, I think 3 flawless rounds on the attack on Oregon. So if you can do that on a structured map, when it comes down to a frag heavy map, will it be the same? Because you're under a lot more pressure when defenders are able to swing a lot more freely. So I think it's a little bit of a showdown, a little bit of a one of those standoffs where you have to believe in your gunfights and be confident with the mechanical skill that you bring with your team.
Exactly. I'm really looking forward to a little bit of a border. I was expecting those early picks to just be those traditional maps, those two-dimensional maps that you just used to seeing over and over again, which we did start out on an Oregon, not too surprised, but to switch up the flavor of the dish, going straight to a border, which I really like that. You know, it's nothing as spicy as a bank or a theme park, but a border nevertheless, which usually a lot of teams really don't like. So I'm excited to see how Kill Squad can work it.
Well, that's the thing. Theme park is still in the mix. So if we actually go the full distance to that 5th map, then we get to have the juicy map of theme park. But until then, we've got these exciting frag heavy maps to be in map 2. Now, Kill Squad did pick this map, so you'd hope, like you said, that they did their homework on it. But like we talked about, it's all about the bans. Now, we saw Naughty Sausages play it. They chose some interesting bans as well. I think we saw a little bit more of a target bans coming out. Now, Ying was banned by them last time. So I think if it's banned this time, it could also work, because we know that Kill Squad also like playing the Ying. They played it last game by Ben, and it definitely helped them on their executes for Laundry and Kid Storm. So on an app like Border, where you don't need as much control and you're a little bit closer to the site, eliminating a Ying removes that potential, and you don't really have to be worried about being flashed. Obviously, you can play that Warden, but you have to directly, you know, counter that. And the only other counter to Ying would be actually shooting those Candelas, or, you know, killing her before she can throw those Candelas. But there we go. The prediction was correct, and they're going to ban off that Ying. But what do we reckon the other bans will be, Elijah?
On the attacking side, it could be a multitude of things. Like maybe you want to get rid of that Thatcher. Maybe you want to have something a little bit more impactful. Maybe a global utility operator, but maybe even a Flores could do. A knock instead, which, look, it's Naughty Sausages and Kill Squad going up against each other. So getting rid of that knock, not too surprised about, especially on Border as well, which I've seen both of these teams utilize so well in terms of getting in really early. Those lurks, a huge factor that is always going to sit in the back of your mind, and getting rid of that really eases things up in terms of the pressure that is on you. So good pick. Intel up to follow, as well as getting rid of those black-eyed cameras. Going to help you really good.
Yeah, but well, my ban. So definitely, once again, on their opponent's maps, I feel like they definitely love to target ban. And, you know, not much prep work needs to be done. You just need to see what their bans are if they've played this map before. But I think Naughty Sausages, they like to play around that aspect of banning comfortable operators for teams. So maybe it will make a difference, maybe it won't. But with my being off the board, that means that you can only rely on a Jaeger to stop those, you know, those flashes or those nades coming through. So they're going to be wary of a map like Border when they go onto the defense. That if you are Kill Squad, that you are prepared to bring that Jaeger and that you don't get naded from below. Now, Naughty Sausages, they get to start out on that defense, as this is not their map pick, and they're going to be utilizing that Soulless as well as the Mozzie. So a lot of intel as well as denial of intel coming out, and they're bringing the Fenrir, so entry intel as well. So I think we got a different game on our hands here, Elijah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely different from the last time that we got to see them in terms of missing out on some of that util that they brought, but it suddenly looks like they're bringing everything that they need, so which is good. It's not very much like you need everything on a map like Border as well. It's very outside in. You don't have to take too much control in terms of the pressure that you put onto the site. So this side specifically is going to be good for the attacking side, but if you manage to hold it out effectively, Naughty Sausages at least, we get aggressive, which looks like Captain Oz could be doing, as well as he's already picking his head out of that CC. A little bit of a run out to start off the run. Nothing to really connect though. do believe he was trying to go for a little bit of a C4 throw, but he chooses not to do it instead. Instead, it looks like they're focusing and narrowing their attention onto the east stairs first, which is providing a lot of intel in terms of who's there. There is a player who's close on that belt as well, but also a prone angle down in the halls to add just that more pressure for anybody trying to swing inside of east.
Yeah, like I talked about, these entries for this map, once you find it, you're pretty much on the site. So once they've taken this east control, they can start pressuring this office wall, which it looks like they're going for. But Solus gaining a lot of intel here, and we usually see from Kill Squad actually, Elijah, with that zero, that they love putting those cams at that top of that office there in the little spirally part, which now that Harry's playing this operator, he'll be able to spot that out, and that denies a lot of information game for the side of Kill Squad. Now they're delaying a lot of time here by, I think, throwing impacts. I think that was an impact from Hale, but Mackenzie, he's close on this door. He's actually in, but he'll find a pick onto Ben. Now that's your zero off the board, but some sprays through the wall from Mackenzie, and he's going to be utilizing that sniper to shut down Hills, but the Fenrir Gadget is going to give his position away. Nades will go out, but nothing is coming of it. Faulty will find the pick on a Harry, swinging through the office breach there. That's absolute chaos unfolding before us.
Mackenzie just in the side, finding downs left, right, and center. He's going to find another one in the process onto Orion. He hasn't been confirmed yet. He can't be picked up either because Hale is still in CC. I do believe that they know of his position as well because they could have a drone that reveals exactly where he is. Now he has to pull off a 4K if he wants to bring this back, and he is so far away from the site that it is doable, but with these nomads, these air jabs, they're going to shut you down and reveal your position and also completely stop you from being able to move it around too much. So need to be a little bit careful of the positioning as well as the crossfires that are being held by Kill Squad. As the 50 seconds left for you to do anything. Rice holding that angle, be able to find that very last pick. I believe it was a down in the process, but that's why we didn't get to see it unfold in front of us. Instead, we're watching Mackenzie, the lovely entry on the Glaz, just dance his way through archives.
Yeah, I think, you know, well played there. He was just holding his gun through his scope and waited for his teammate to shoot down the door for him, and then he just walked right in off of that door breaking. So I think good play from them there. They went for a risky play, but it paid off nonetheless. So I think this being their map, definitely showing for it to kick things off. And I wonder going forward if Naughty Sausages will be a little bit more prepared for the way that they're playing. They did well to delay the push coming from that office side, but after they lost that pick through the wall in Fountain, it seemed like that was the only glue holding the entire defense together, and after that, everyone was just swinging things left and right and just falling to the bullets of Kill Squad. Now, with the lineup that they're running, it's pretty much the exact same lineup as before, and they're running back to that Armory archive. So they have the Fenrir available to them. So they had the intel where the Glaz was pushing from, but they didn't play off it as much as they would like. And I think if you're thinking about adapting this time around, maybe playing off of that intel from the Fenrir gadget and the rest of your team just that little bit more, you know, playing together. If one's to fall, swing and find the pick back. And I think Naughty Sausages will find themselves finding a little bit more of a better grip on this game.
Well, that's the thing, right? The key factor to that last round was solely based off of the lack of players around, stopping from Mackenzie just walking into archives. And I don't know how he managed to get through, especially with the Fenrir being there. I heard it the second time, but I didn't hear the Fenrir get triggered the first time. So I don't know how he managed to. I think he could have proned past if it was in a wrong position, or maybe they had an EMP. I don't know how he managed to slip by, because those Fenrir gadgets, those fear gadgets, they are loud. You can hear them from so far away.
They are very loud, and if you do have Fenrir, you know, up and about, he can actually call which one is being activated. As it will sort of glow blue on his screen, and the dot will show him where it is coming from as well. So you can communicate that to your team, but only if you are alive. Otherwise, you just have to rely off that sound like a Malusi gadget would. And I think with the way that Naughty Sausages are playing, it's just when they play together, we've seen them just succeed so well when you have like players like Captain Oz and Hills just playing, you know, those spawn picks, but playing them together, you know what I mean? And they just able to find the picks so much easier. And then when it comes down to the final parts of the round, it's a little bit harder for their opponents to find those picks back, and that's where they really shine. So if they can do that here, easy wins for Naughty Sausages.
And in terms of that Fenrir as well, being able to see them through the map. Yeah, what do you think about that? What's your take on that Fenrir little aspect?
I think he's very strong at the moment if you do have access to him, but like we saw, there's still ways around it. You know, Kill Squad are able to prevail through it, so it really depends on how well a team plays around a character like Fenrir. If you're not going to play around those gadgets and really sort of lock off parts of the map with his ability, you're not going to get the full use out of it. So I think when you have a team that does, he's quite a powerful operator to bring to the arsenal of your roster. So I think changing something from Fenrir might make him a little bit more balanced, but for now, why not abuse it whilst you have access to it? So if you are Naughty Sausages, abuse that idea that you can lock down parts of the map and get that free intel on when to swing those doorways.
I feel like I've heard a lot of people complain about being able to see through the walls, which I sort of agree for. That was sort of what was broken, I guess. A lot of people like to argue about Legion back in the day when he first was able to see his goo mines through the walls. It gave you a lot of easy kills in terms of detonating C4s, maybe even wall banging through the wall as soon as you saw that they were triggered. Now you can essentially do the exact same thing with Fenrir's ability. I've seen some cheeky little spawn peeks and runouts happen as soon as they are triggered, as soon as you toss them outside of the map, or just working off the intel that it gives you. But it means that you have to tweak the operator a lot, I feel like, because how are you going to activate them if you can't see them through the wall? You know what I mean?
That is the thing. I guess you can activate them if you're in the line of sight of it, but then that sort of nerfs him down to the ground quite a lot. So I think there's not really much you can do, and there's not much false you can do when he's got his, you know, he's not aware of Hills swinging that doorway and a little bit off guard. But so is Kulo. Gets caught with a nade in hand, and that'll actually detonate after his demise. And it seems that Naughty Sausages are really locking this site a whole lot better. But Ben, he's going to find the pick onto Orion, so he's going to find at least one pick back. But the Azami has all these keeper barriers to cover herself from these shots and able to find these cheeky one-way angles, forcing Rice and Ben to play a little bit safer. But if Hale can find the shot, he can maybe punish them for peeking him, but he's wasting a lot of time here. Almost only 1 minute left in the round, and they still haven't found the control that they want.
I feel like last time, the push being dedicated from that archive side, which is nearly happening again as Mackenzie's trying to push through, but Captain Oz, ready for it this time, is going to shut him down. But a trade was made at the same time, so we're back down to a 2v2. So it's anybody's guess on how this round will turn out, as Ben is able to get control over that CC as well. Looks like Fenrir trying to get aggressive and running out of CC. Unable to connect the shots onto Ben, though, as he's sitting quite comfortably behind that pillar inside of there. Looks like they're going for a little bit of a reset and re-establishing their positions in terms of needing to get into the site. Now, Ben's trying to look through a pick through the walls as well, be able to use his ability to gain some intel on the player inside of the site. It will be removed immediately, but the sound cue of the shotgun is going to give away the position of where he is. Now, that's a really good factor to keep in mind, is that there is a shotgun nearby, so pushing through this doorway is a little bit of a dangerous play to make. So needing to hit your shots first is what's crucial in terms of putting this. Double stacking, maybe getting that refrag as well. But Rice connecting the shot onto Captain Oz, going to make it that much easier for Hills, being put in a rough position in terms of needing to clutch this back. He will remain inside of the small office as well behind the half walls. Here's the diffuser going down, but a quick swing across, able to find the very first, and there's no time left. He'll clutch the round in the end. Hills, a great display of trigger discipline and game sense to win out and have an answer to that last round. And a close clutch it was for Kill Squad, but not enough yet.
A lot better plays coming out from Naughty Sausages there. It did come close towards the end. They bled picks unnecessarily, and that, you know, can cost them going into the future of this map. So they're going to be wary of that. But, you know, Hill's playing that perfectly. Went until the plant went down, and knowing that, you know, the plant is going down in the other site in Archives. And, you know, where else would he be other than behind that safety of the bomb? So he knows where the plant's going down, and he knows that there was one, you know, near that 90 area. So he took the gunfight, found the head, and then you know, Rice was forced to stick the plant. So I think Hills, he found 4 in that round, I do believe. So definitely proving his worth this time round. I think he did rather well in Oregon as well. So carrying that over, consistency tonight is showing from him.
Definitely feeling warm. That's exactly what you need. You need to be prepped and ready to go into these. Otherwise, you know, if you end up missing some shots or diluting your performance as the maps go on, consistency really is key here. You need to stay going, stay ready, stay warm, stay good. Otherwise, you really don't want to be that player who's starting to fall early on.
Defender has been discovered.
Well, that's the thing, you know, this is the grand final. This is the last game of this season. You've made it all this way. And you got to remember that these players aren't playing for nothing. They're playing for a juicy prize pool. So, you know, whoever wins this game gets $1,200. And whoever comes second gets that $800. So, you know, $400 difference. This is what you're playing for. And that just means more money for you and your teammates. So they're going to put in the work. And it seems that both teams are right now. We're not getting a dominant game just yet from either side. They're both putting in the same amount of effort. And they both want this win just as bad. But Ben, he's going to find the kill onto Hills, the star player of the previous round before. So he's going to be off the board. But not entirely. He can still feed information to his team. And some sort of information is being fed. And I think it's Harry M on the IQ, the Solus as well as the Pulse below. So the double intel coming out from Naughty Sausages and able to shut down the IQ. So that's your only real counter down for the count. But you got to remember, this is an FPS at the end of the day. And Faulty, he's going to take out Hale. So you're one man down once again. But you still have all this intel. And Captain Oz going to chuck a C4. But it's going to be detonated prematurely and not find any damage or any picks.
Still got the intel, the shotgun in his hand, spraying through the floorboards, narrowly missing the legs onto him as well. So he's going to escape with full HP still, but the information is still being gained in exactly where he's positioned as well. But on the opposite side, information gained on exactly where Captain Oz is playing. So they've got a little bit of a 50-50 in terms of that. Faulty's got a little bit of an angle as well. So if you're unknowing and walking around ventilation just blindly, you might be able to walk into the crossfires, but yeah, he's doing really well in terms of slowing them down at the moment.
He is, but Faulty, he's doing well just holding this vert, trying to shut down the Pulse, but the Pulse is aware of where he's playing, but Mackenzie, he's going to drop into the side, he's going to shut down Harry, but Orion's going to shut down Mackenzie, so the plan is going down in bathroom, but they can't do anything to stop it. Faulty's holding this hatch, so Pulse is forced to rotate upstairs, and Ryan, he's just trying to make use of something, trying to find any pick that he can find. Captain Oz taking some damage through the wall. This is going to be tough to retake for Naughty Sausages.
A little bit of a dance through the half walls there. Rise be able to win the first, go for the second, but Captain Oz with a quick shot of the shotgun's going to shut him down now. Last two players are upstairs on the hatch. You tried to go for the vault, Captain Oz, but you was lost from the very beginning.
Yeah, unfortunately, Kill Squad, they just had that round in the bag. Once they were able to find that second pick, it just all fell apart for Naughty Sausages. They had the right idea playing that double intel. They did well to find that IQ, but after that, they were just in the wrong positions, able to be caught out and lost their lives. And with no trades, it's just that much harder for the likes of the Warden and the Pulse to find those picks back when you've got all that vert available to the enemy team as well as that hatch, you know, being the cover for the planter. So I think going back there, if they choose to do so, they need to be wary of that top floor control and maybe delay it a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely delaying it. I feel like they solely relied on the intel from below. It's focusing Solus and Pulse to get those early picks. The C4 narrowly missing some few kills there. You get one through the floorboards though, thanks to the intel that the cardiac sensor did provide into CC. That removed your IQ, so a very strong player in terms of providing intel on the attacking side, but slowing him down, I got to agree, definitely needs to be done. Otherwise, if they're able to get that top floor control with no punishment, as well as opening up that hatch, then it does force you to retake, which they do unsuccessfully time and time again. Especially when they got that CC control and they are watching those metal stairs from CC. I've seen be used over and over again. It's a hard thing to approach.
It definitely is. I think, you know, Captain Oz, he's had enough of his pulse. He's not the pulse man today. Maybe he's the Mozzie man today. We have seen him pop off on Mozzie, so maybe this will be his round here. But they have the IQ back in business, so they need to be able to deal with that if Harry wants to continue to use his ability a little bit safer. But Faulty, he's not being as safe, taking a lot of damage over on the east side of the map, I do believe. Yeah, he's still in the spawn, actually. So I think Captain Oz punishing him in the spawn and really choking the time a little bit more. But like I talked about with Border, once you find that control, once they find this vert, it's sort of a little bit harder for the defenders to hold. So maybe this is just an attacker side of map once again in this matchup. And maybe we'll see a different story for Naughty Sausages. But Kill Squad, they're charging on through Kilo, able to find a Ryan, but the trade is there. And this is what I want to see from Naughty Sausages. Swinging off the intel of your teammates when they fall and able to find those picks back. You're able to shut down players like Kulo. So that's the Ash off the board. Not going to be able to open up much of the floor, but Rice is able to find Hills. Captain Oz with the trade. So once again, the trades are on Border. And it's working out well so far.
Captain Oz being on low HP. He's not aware of the cross that is being displayed before him. Ben being able to capitalize on Harry's negligence and being a little bit vigilant in his position. He's going to be removed quite easily. Now it's down to a 2v3. Captain Oz, in his engagement upstairs in CC, has left him scathed. Very, very low HP for him. Intel being shared on that very last position as well, and where Hale was playing is going to leave Mackenzie a little bit of safety in terms of needing to push inside of ventilation. But Hale has dropped on top of the vents, so a little bit of a rotate will be made. Looks like both of them trying to dedicate themselves to going around the entire map, maybe going for a little bit of a window jump in, which nobody is really there to hold, so this might be able to work out well for you.
Ooh. IQ's going to be careful here, but the jump in from Captain Oz, he's stuck here. The C4 is not able to, you know, make the arc over the bit there, but Hale, he's able to find the head of Ben, and we're back to that 2v2, but they're forced to retake, and Rice will shut down Hale, but Captain Oz with the refrag back, but he is quite low. He's going to be aware of Mackenzie on the rappel, and this is something very difficult to deal with, but he's actually going upstairs, so he's able to find the jump out here, Elijah. This could be different. This could be something that could change the round, but he's going to be aware that he's on the rappel, and he's not. And Mackenzie able to find another round for Kill Squad. Was looking a little bit rough towards the end there, but they were able to shut it down. So, Naughty Sausages, although it's not their map, they're definitely struggling here on the defense.
Yeah, getting that low HP in that engagement, it only took one bullet to really shut you down, and obviously that's all he needed to do, so he didn't have to be too vigilant on how he was aiming. He just really needed to hit one bullet, which isn't hard to do when you're upside down repelled like that. So an easy win for them. Very different round. It was close. Almost a clutch was made, but not really in the end. So they're going to be forced to go to a different site now, thankfully. Rotation has been made, so you're able to go back to the comfortability of our armory, which hopefully they don't let Mackenzie just walk through again.
Well, that's the thing. They've been allowing that to happen, and with a team like Naughty Sausages, you would expect that, you know, they go for those plays as well. You'd think that they'd be on top of that sort of idea, but when it comes to Kill Squad, they just don't know where the push is coming from. But they were able to do that sort of push through that Archives door twice in a row, you know, at different points in the round. So not at the same times, but for the most part, the same exact push. So if they really focus on the idea that Kill Squad like to do that, maybe they can shut it down at the third attempt of it. But they're running out of attempts within these defensive rounds. At least a 4-2 split will be a little bit better. But if we go to that 5-1 split, which we saw, you know, previously on a Border, it proves tough on the split.
Especially when you're doing runouts like that. Captain Oz finding the first, tries to go for the second. He'll be unable to do so. Was really, really close though, but he looks like he's got a fire lit in him. He really wants to secure this round for himself, and on dock, you're able to heal yourself back up if you do manage to find yourself on low HP, which is exactly what happened last time Captain Oz was on the road. He found himself on low HP, unable to do the clutch. I believe if he was higher HP, it was doable. This time he could just heal himself up really, really easily with a stim pistol that he's got in his pocket.
Yeah, I think the idea for Naughty Sausages now, you know, they find that early pick, now cool things down. Don't let Kill Squad work that pick back, because that's when they start to play more aggressive. And if you can do shots like that where you tag up their players, they have to play a little bit safer. Now, Ben is stuck in this supply. Ryan's going to make sure he wins this gunfight, but he doesn't. And now we're back to that 4v4. And this is what I'm talking about. You can't be bleeding picks like this, because you give Kill Squad that hope once again. And they've still got a lot of work to do. They've got to get control of this downstairs so they can start to pressure from below with the nades of Mackenzie. But the longer they take, the less time there is to push the site, which is upstairs. So they're going to be careful on how much time they bleed here. But for Naughty Sausages, they're going to be careful that they don't bleed any more picks.
Drones coming through as well. Sprays through the walls. Going to leave Mackenzie really messed up. Chucked down to about 30 HP now, as they are focusing on those flanks. Hills trying to get up those metal stairs is going to be caught off as Kulo, he's on that flank watching potential. Kulo finding another kill on the round onto Captain Oz to shut him down. It's going to leave only Harry M and Hale to clutch it back. Both very high SMG fire rate in terms of that, so it is clutchable if you manage to hit the shots, but you need to find out too if you want to bring it back to that even score count. A little bit of pepper spray coming onto Rice, but nothing too serious though, as the damage fall off is quite heavy on this gun.
Yeah, obviously that high fire rate is going to trade off somewhere, but he's able to down one. But unfortunate for him, Ben finds the trade, so it's all left to Hale in a 1v3 with the amount of bodies there is. But Kulo finding his third in the round and shutting down Hale. And so far on the attack, just a dominant performance from Kill Squad on their own map pick. So it's not the same case so far for this side and this map. And Naughty Sausages, they're forced to win this next round. Otherwise, they're on the 5-1 split. And when they go into that second half, they can't lose a single round if they don't want to have to go into that overtime.
Kill Squad getting so many rounds ahead at the moment. We have seen a switch up happen before in the past though, where we've seen teams, as soon as they go to their attacking side or they switch up to their defending side, that things relatively change. And that's when it starts to get real dicey. But at the moment, with the team morale that is built on Kill Squad, the confidence that has been put as just they're winning rounds after round after round, then it could get into the head of Naughty Sausages. And that's exactly what you don't want. When you're on your grand finals, the pressure is high, but you need to stay composed.
That is the thing, and when you're not composed, you're making mistakes. And I think for the most part, that is exactly what's happening for Naughty Sausages on this defense. They're able to find those opening picks and those spawn peaks, but they're not able to, turn that into a round win. Somehow they just think that they need to keep swinging, they need to keep the aggression going, and then it just falls apart for them. They're not able to find any sort of picks from that, and then we're left in situations where we need to see players clutch a 1v4 or 1v3. And, if Kill Squad play it right, Naughty Sausages should never win any situation like that. So I think in this final round of the defense, maybe play that aggression early and then fall off. Play the time, play the site, play the crosses.
That's exactly what they are just failing to do, right? They always, like you said, find that early pick, but like you pointed out that last round, when they get aggressive to try to find yet another pick to put it even more into their favor, it's where it really falls apart here. And that sort of aggression always gets punished, especially on a map where Kill Squad just seem to be so strong on in terms of that intel. Getting that information is just working out really well for them. They seem to be comfortable here, and it's just raining true time and time again, as Kulo did find that opening pick, but it was immediately traded back. But Captain Oz getting away narrowly with his life. He's able to heal himself back up to that comfortable amount of HP to retake an engagement, thanks to having that Doc Stim pistol available to you. But you're back to a 4-4. So it's anybody's guess on how the round will go. Less so now on the side of Naughty Sausages, as Rice is able to connect to the head of Hills. A lot of damage being done in terms of Orion, as well as Glaz just spraying through, finding the shots, it connecting.
I don't quite know what the play from Hills was there. Maybe he thought they didn't get spotted, but when there's a giant wall open and there's a drone coming in, I think playing there isn't exactly, you're not going to be able to tuck in as nicely as you would imagine. From his point of view, he thought he could, but the drone game from Kill Squad is just on point right now, and they're able to find those cheeky positions that you'd like to play in usually. But look how much time they have to work with now. They've got this office and fountain side completely clear, and Orion almost losing his life through the floor. The nades of Mackenzie, but he's able to open up that mirror. Captain Oz having to use that last stim to heal him back to that 100 HP. but he loses it straight away as Kulo is on this door, holding things down and ensuring that cross is locked down for his team to take control. Now, Gabs and Oz comes down the hallway, finds one, but the immediate trade, and they're just on top of their refrag game, Elijah, and it's working so well. And Kill Squad, they find the 5-1 split. Border, it's their map pick, and it's definitely their comfortable area of expertise.
They are looking overly comfortable here. They're going to their defense now. I feel like Kill Squad really are strong on their attack. This is their map pick. Hopefully they are just as strong on their defense, but Naughty Sausages, they do shine on their attack, if any, so they do have the capability on coming back. We've seen it happen before, so it's not all lost for them, but very hard to do, especially on Border. So I'm gonna put my fingers crossed for them, Naughty Sausages. Put on a display for us, pull it back. Unless Kill Squad, I mean, you could just imagine how good that they feel at the moment, that they could shut this down, collect themselves 2 maps in a row.
Yeah, I mean, if Kill Squad, they just need to find 1 round here on the defense to lock in that match point. So they'd be sitting rather comfortably. So if they are letting that stamina sort of get to them, which it doesn't look like it is, they have got smiles all around. They're having a lot of fun with it. But on the flip side, Naughty Sausages, they've already lost a map and they're down by 4 rounds. So they'll definitely be feeling it now. And if they want to stay in this, they have to win this map. Otherwise, you're forced to win 2 maps in a row, which is a lot to ask for if you are Naughty Sausages. But, you know, it's still winnable here on Border. You just have a lot of work to do on the attack.
It's all about these early engagements to see how aggressive Kill Squad want to play. If they want to match the aggression that Naughty Sausages tried to pull on them, or maybe they want to play a little bit more structured. For the moment, it looks like the structure is coming out for Naughty Sausages as they are just doing the best that they can to gain as much intel as possible. They'll be able to do it easily as well, not only by having the clones that Hale provides, but also the 0 cams that you can use. You already saw a camera being up into the dome on top of the map on the roof, but you can also place some as well for some flank watches. We've seen this grenade come out time and time again. Usually connects onto the doorway inside of offices. Don't know if he was able to do it successfully. Looks like he did. Or didn't. I don't see any shrapnel, any burnt places onto the floor, so I don't know if it connected correctly.
I don't think it did.
But it's doable. It is doable for the people who didn't know that you can toss it through the roof and find yourself an early pick if you do manage to throw it effectively enough. It would have been huge for him if he managed to connect an early killer that way. It would have been a lot of fashion points, but Orion finding the very first opening pick into the round onto Mackenzie. Harry M to match the energy onto Ben. So it's falling apart again for Naughty Sausages as Rice finds a pick for himself, but a trade was made.
Yeah, and this wall's starting to be open, so they're utilizing what they have available to them to push out the positions of these players, but this wall is open, so Rice, if he wants to play here, he has to play rather safe, or at least find another pick here if he wants to even up the man count. Now, Faulty, he's trapped in this break CC area. He knows that there's one in there, and Orion is able to find his second in the round and shut down him, so it's all left to Rice and Kulo. Definitely capable players, but there's so much time for Naughty Sausages to work with. But a nice shot from Rice, but the trade is there from Hills. Hills is going to go for the second squid, and he's going to tag up Kulo. But he's just on a train right now. He's not stopping for nobody, and he's able to take this round for his team. And Naughty Sausages on the attack. A whole lot cleaner.
Really bringing out the potential of that Bearing 9, shredding through the bodies of all the players on the kill squad. I like it.
I do like it, and I'm surprised that neither team, you know, haven't taken a timeout in map 1 or map 2. They sort of just want to keep the ball rolling. They want to try and get these maps done as quickly as possible so that they don't have that factor of fatigue coming into play maybe. So, but the thing with that is that you never get a break, and if you are, and you do need that break, you know, to reset the mentals or to talk things through, you're not going to have that opportunity if you don't get that timeout. You know, you have those little breaks in between rounds in the prep phases and whatnot, but sometimes there's a lot of noise going in and not enough coming out. So it's hard to focus on what you want to hear and what you want to tune into.
I'm wondering if this is really where it switches up. If Naughty Sausages, now that they're comfortable on their attack, if they can really give it to Kill Squad here and really change up the scoreboard, I feel like that could be what's happening before us. I've seen Naughty Sausages on border pull something out of nothing. When they switch over and they find where they're comfortable, they really find their footing, they can really change things up here, which if Kill Squad decide to choke up a little bit, I don't know how they're going to be able to work their footing back.
Yeah, I think, you know, Kill Squad, they're usually used to coming back in dire situations, but when they have these leads, we've seen them sort of get overconfident and choke it out before, but it seems like, for the most part, they've got a good mental today. They've got a good chemistry going between all 5 of them, and hopefully they can lock things out. But Naughty Sausages, they did quite well in that first attack, and you know, it is the switch up. Sometimes things go a little bit skew-iff, but I think that transition for Naughty Sausages was definitely needed, and they look a lot better on this attack. So going forward, hopefully for them, this is where they really shine.
So they're trying for a little bit of an early take into Armory. Faulty there with the positions. I don't know if they're aware of his position, but he'll be able to shoot through the cages and connect the shot as well. Not only that, but you've got a fear gadget there to help you do so as well. And 2 kills rain thanks to that, as Kill Squad find a very early advantage in their favor. But Orion, he's going to have an answer to it and shut down a player for himself. Now, all for nothing. An explosive start to the round. Kill Squad absolutely dominating all of the members onto Naughty Sausages, and Hills being that very last member left in a blink of an eye, KJ. I feel like I blinked and everyone was dead.
Yeah, especially with those last 2 kills, they were like simultaneous in the way that it happened, and it's so early in the round too. It seems that Naughty Sausages, you know, although I mentioned earlier that once you enter the building from wherever you choose to push from, for the most part, you have you're pretty much on top of the site or very close by. So for them, they're just struggling on finding the entry at all, and it's really affecting these rounds. And if they don't win this round here, if Hills isn't able to pull off this 1v4, that means that Kill Squad, they lock in this match point, and that means that they are very, very comfortable going forward in securing this map 2 victory, and that would put them 2-0 up in the series so far, and they only need to find 3 to win the thing as a whole. So going into the future maps, that would mean that they would only need 1 win, and they're going to lock in that match point. And unfortunate for Naughty Sausages, they're on a huge deficit here now.
No more mistakes can be made for Naughty Sausages. So if Kill Squad secure 1 more, they'll have that 2 map wins under their belt, which adds a lot of pressure for that very last, or potentially last map at least, for Naughty Sausages. Which, yeah, it's not a good thing to feel. Having so much pressure of, if you lose this, it's GG, it's over. You really want to be able to secure yourself a closer map score at least. Take us to that 5th map is what you really want, right? But at the moment, it looks like Kill Squad, they want a 3-0.
Yeah, I think definitely trying to do that clean sweep of not dropping a map. But if we have a look at the, you know, the top right there, Naughty Sausages, they finished 4th in the regular season on the ladder, and Kill Squad finished 1st. And when we went into the playoffs, Kill Squad got to pick who they wanted to verse first in that winner bracket, and they picked Naughty Sausages, and Naughty Sausages lost their best of 3 series last time to Kill Squad 2-0 as well. So I think Kill Squad, they've just, at the moment, for the most part, they've got Naughty Sausages in their book. They know the way that they play, and they know how they want to counter the way that they play. So going into this best of 5, it's a bit of a revenge story for Naughty Sausages, and it hasn't been working out well for them this time around. But there's still plenty of, you know, maps and time to go, and we're still in map 2, so there's still time to come back. But they let this map slip away from them. It's gonna have to be the comeback of a century.
I feel like, obviously with the Blitz coming out onto Captain Oz, I feel like every single time we've seen them run this sort of lineup, solely relying on Captain Oz with the Blitz, I don't think I've ever really seen them lose around when they're running that Blitz. Normally it works out 9 times out of 10 because the opposition aren't really expecting the sort of push that they are doing. So if there's any round to win, you're going to want to hope that this is it, as there isn't really a Warden to counter the Blitz. But there are a lot of C4s, there's the Pulse. So, in terms of the path that this Blitz takes, has a lot of impact in how the round can be played. Oh, man. I thought that was through the wall.
Yeah, that's...
That's not a good position to be in. Match point. Already falling your Blitz, which you don't like to see. You don't want that Blitz to hold, because that was really the staple of your push altogether. So you're left down to a 4v5 now, with that main player being stuck. Pushing close to Armory will be Orion. I don't think he's aware of the player inside of CC as well. He will remain some shots through. Managed to find the head onto Faulty, and falling in and bringing it back down to a 4v4. And he's going to be able to get that entry into Armory as well. There's nobody really close by other than through the small wall, but the shots through the wall will pepper through to Ben, taking a little bit of HP, but nothing too serious and shutting him down just yet. But Orion's going to dance back and forth through the head holes to see if he can bait out some of these shots. But Mackenzie's going to find a pick for himself, find two if that, as well as the very last kill going onto Hale, first kill being onto Harry M as well, and he has regained control over Break. Ali's last two members are Hills and Orion to push it back, with so much control still being forfeited to Kill Squad. They are looking to shut down this map with due fashion. A little bit of pushes being made through. Rain through the site will be the frag grenade to connect the shrapnel, ripping through the body of Rice, leaving it down to back to that 2v3 now. Some damage being done all across for the three players on Kill Squad, with Mackenzie remaining just about on 70 HP, Ben finding himself on just about the same, but Kulo, he's left down to just about 40. And he has that Pulse player, the C4 still in his hand, also a C4 remaining inside of Ben's pocket as well. It's going to be remaining a crucial factor, especially if you're not checking these corners here. Mackenzie finding a triple, but immediately getting traded by Orion. Down to a 1v2 now. No grenades in his pockets, but two C4 still in the pockets for the Kill Squad side, as Ben, like I mentioned before, he's still got his one up as well. They'll push through these Armory. The Detective's going to give away your position, but a C4 onto Kulo from below. Pulse, the cardiac sensor coming into play, will give Kill Squad their win yet again. Two maps in a row handed to them. Lordy Sausages just not having an answer yet, but we're not done yet. Kill Squad looking to secure the third map. Naughty Sausages needing to find a map so far is the name of the game. Naughty Sausages, it's time to wake up. Congratulations, Kill Squad, for how well you've been playing so far. This is not the play, not the good times. We want to see more from Naughty Sausages, I'm sure, but Kill Squad, you're on a train at the moment and you're not slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, it's just a clean performance from Kill Squad, especially on their map pick, a 7-2, whereas on Naughty Sausages map pick of Oregon, they lost it 8-6, so definitely more comfortable on that map for Kill Squad, and definitely where they shine in those frag-heavy maps where they can take the control rather easily and then just sort of, frag out from there. And going into map 3 is our next one, and this is a best of 5, so it's the first to 3, and so far Kill Squad on that 2-0. So if they find this next map, that's GG. That is the grand finals done and dusted. And unfortunately, Naughty Sauce is not having any impact on this series, but I'd imagine going on to map 3, they want to come back, they want to bounce back, and they want to come from nothing. But there's a lot of work to be done, Elijah, and I think it's going to be a lot to ask for, but do the boys have it in them?
I guess that's all up for us to see as we head into that next map in just a few minutes. So if you guys are excited for that, definitely come back for that. As things are getting a little bit dicey here for Naughty Sausages, they might find themselves losing this altogether, and Kill Squad looking for a very clean sweep. So until then, we'll see you guys soon. 5-minute break. Come back in 5, and we'll see you then.
See you then.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a very warm welcome back to the casting desk where we'll be heading to our third map of this evening. For those of you who are just joining us, Naughty Sausages going up against Kill Squad on a BO5 today. First two maps have already been played and it has been Oregon and Border, both being won by Kill Squad. So that leaves it in a very, very hard deficit for Naughty Sausages at the moment as they'll be going to Clubhouse. Now, that is Naughty Sausages' pick. So they have that leadway there, but you can imagine that Kill Squad are just as comfortable on Clubhouse as it is that staple of Siege that we always talk about. So if Naughty Sausages lose their map pick, that is GG. Kill Squad will take this win and that lovely prize pool, but if anything else, that'll be done. But before we head into the map, let me introduce ourselves to the people who are just joining. My name is Elijah Hartz.
And I'm KJ Assassin, and I think with this match so far, it just seems like a complete dominant performance from Kill Squad. You know, we see the close game in map 1, which was an 8-6, but that was Naughty Sausage's pick. And, you know, going on to the Clubhouse, which is also their pick, I wonder if they're going to struggle to find it as well and really, you know, show that they are dominant on a map of their own. Whereas in map 2, we saw Kill Squad. They were completely dominant on their map on Border. 7-2 victory for them. So they're in that 2-0 scoreline. So only need one more map, like you said, to win this series and take that first place, not only in the regular season, but winning that grand final here in the playoffs. So I think it's a tough one for Naughty Sausages. They've got to find their way back, and it's a comeback story. This is a revenge arc and a comeback story all at the same time. So can they make it happen? Will the prophecy come true?
What a statement it would be as well. Naughty Sausages just came back real like this late on, losing that very first two maps and just don't drop one from here on out. Coming back from that lower bracket after losing their very first game up against Kill Squad at the beginning of the bracket of the season, it would be quite thrilling to see. I mean, it would just get so exciting. I guess it all depends on the operators that are left up. Speaking of operators, very first two attacker operators to be banned, and it'll be Habana and Ayana. Following up by the very first defender, it'll be Cade, so that'll make it a little bit easier. As that very last defender gets banned out, we'll see that it's the Solus, which were providing a lot of intel for Kill Squad in their border game. Now it'll be shut down, as it looks like Naughty Sausages don't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah, I think, you know, those bans, pretty good. I think, you know, the Yana, although it's something that we don't see too often, every team I've seen has played Yana. You know, she just brings a lot to the lineup. You've got the really nice gun, the G3, as well as that ARX, if you really want to use that gun as well. You have nades to your ability. You know, you have your drones with your Gemini replicator, your little hologram that you can use to drone safely. It's just so much potential with a character like Yana. So taking her off the board is going to force teams on the attack to play a little bit different now. Eliminating that Cade, I think that's just in play with the Habana ban from Kill Squad. So definitely a good counter ban back there. And the Solus, well, we saw how well they can play Solus when they play it right. And having it off the board is going to help Kill Squad on their attack. But, you know, Naughty Sausages, it's their map pick. They have to attack first because that is what Kill Squad would like. And they've got all these other operators, once again, to their ability. They've got this Azami, which is able to create these really nasty angles with those Kiba barriers, able to jump up there and stay safe in an angle that you wouldn't usually be able to stay safe. But because you've got that extra cover, it's a very nice position to play. Now, Harry M, he's got a Amaru, so maybe a quick sort of take from him to get in the building and take that control early to help them get to that basement that little bit quicker.
Name of the game on this map as well is usually getting that map control really early, so it looks like that's what they're doing as well. As already Logistic Hatch is being taken, Captain Oz doing dropping there, and he's going to be able to spot out these roamers quite easily as well, as he's able to use that scanner that Jackal brings to see the feet of anybody potentially lurking upstairs. And doesn't look like anybody really is, other than from what I've seen from that lounger angle on the way back. But Hale finding that very first pick onto the lurker, who was down in Oil Pit. Very nice angle to be shot out through there, and Rice is going to get a lot of HP taken off him in the processes. He is trying to work back that pick. He'll do so unsuccessfully.
He will. He has a C4 in hand, so he can definitely find that pick back a little bit more safely, but I think Captain Oz is aware, but the swing just not in tune with the drop from, I do believe that was that Mackenzie?
It was Mackenzie sitting inside a stock, yeah. Got away with his life somehow, which I've thought Captain had him there for sure. A good read by him being able to get away there.
Yeah, I think he chose the decision to drop rather perfectly, but you see these observation blockers coming into play. Hill's not able to gain any sort of useful information until that blocker is cleared, or he pushes a little bit more aggressive, but Harry M making use of that G8, and he's able to take down one of the players. Hill's able to find Mackenzie. Kulo able to find Hill's back, so it's just a little bit of a trade now, but Naughty Sausages, they have the advantage of 4v2. They got to be careful here, though. You know, first round of Clubhouse, you want it to be a dominant performance. You've got the time to work with. Why not have it a little bit more of a cleaner round? Now, Harry, he finds his second, able to shut down Ben. It's all left to Kulo here in blue. All the angles are available to the attackers, and they find their first round of Clubhouse. I think, you know, it's still early days. I don't want to jinx anything. So, Elijah, if I say something out of pocket, just shoot me or something. Get rid of me. But, you know, so far, so good for Naughty Sausages.
I think it's looking really good for them. I don't know how effective it was for them to try that extension that they did. It was unconventional. You don't normally see anybody try to do that. They had set up some things upstairs that you don't normally see. They popped hatches for them. And it did work out in terms of keeping your life available, but in terms of punishing the attackers, it had no cost to them at all. They found that map control. It was almost like the extension never really was there. They had so much time left. They just ended up capitalizing on the control that was just forfeited to them, thanks to pre-establishing those hatches being opened.
Yeah, I think, you know, with the control that Naughty Sausages was able to gain so quickly, and they really utilized that Jackal. I think that Jackal really helped with that roam clear and was vital to be able to take that control so quickly and pressure those on that mid floor, which they pretty much got those kills without any real contest. And I think if they can manage to do that again quite cleanly and quite safely, I think Naughty Sausages could have another round in their pocket shortly. But it all depends on how they do this roam clear, because Kill Squad, they may fall in that first round, but it might be them just having a sort of grip on Clubhouse. You know, it is a little bit different to Border. It is similar to Oregon, but we haven't played Oregon in quite a while now. Faulty, he's not going to make the same mistake, and he's going to try and shut down the drone and then fall off, so that all the positions are sort of guesses rather than exact pings or intel from the attacking side. He's going to stay on that top red, so he's going to be careful. But Hale, he's taking all this control, and Mackenzie's actually going to fall, but you get a little bit greedy to finish that kill, and you're going to fall victim to Kulo as he lines up his sights onto that blue window. Now, Harry M, he's able to find Faulty on that top red, so they were able to eliminate that other player above. Now, Hale, you got to be careful from the angle. You're able to find the finish onto the player that was down, and you're almost able to find the pick onto the player covering him, but you'll do enough damage to scare him off the angle, and now he's forced to hold the site. So, you know, even though they lost their Buck, they still have plenty of time and that one extra man to pressure those in the site.
Really good start for them, as well as they were able to clear out the roamers and anybody giving them any initial pressure. Now the name of the game is checking off the checklists and getting yourself some pathways and some options into the side, as they are already trying to open up that kitchen hatch. I believe they did so successfully, as there was a little bit of an unsuccessful impact trick coming out. Hatch will be remained open, and now they'll be able to either open up dirt and do some work over the motor as well, and you can see the shotgun just coming out instead of opening up some of those vertical holes that Captain Oz can use to maybe isolate some of these gunfights and maybe even find a pick for himself, as they are getting intel inside of the site. Hills will be the person to do that, though, and he's going to spot out some of the players who are inside of that AK's position. Rice with a nice C4 toss through the floorboards will be able to connect onto Hills, and Hale will fall in the process, as well as Kulo hits the nice shot onto the head of him.
Yeah, but Harry, he's lurking in this oil pit. He almost finds the head of the Rooney, but he's able to find his triple and secure that kill. Now, Captain Oz, it's all left to him, pushing down these secret stairs, but he's going to take a little bit of HP as Kulo swings once again. Is he going to find the quad kill? Or is Captain Oz going to do the impossible here? 35 seconds on the board. Can he find all three? There's an Azami playing rather close on AKs, but no, Kulo. He finds 4, and he really locks down this blue position. Now, a vital position to gain But if you don't take control of it, it will be your demise, and rightly so.
Little bit of a pause coming out there. FPS bug happens all the time in Siege. So we'll head back to our cameras until we can get him back, as he does have to reset his entire game in order to fix that. An unfortunate aspect that the bug brings. But so far, at the moment, Clubhouse, what are we thinking, KJ? From what we've seen that's put on display, who do you think is really leading into it?
Well, this exact same outcome has happened on all 3 maps, I feel like. We've seen one team win the first round, no matter the defense or the attack, and then the other following team wins the next round. And then from there, it can completely change. We've seen them get to, you know, that 3 points on, and then the other team comes back, and then we have an even first half. But on Border, that wasn't the case. We had a complete sweep from Kill Squad on their attack. So it really depends on whether Naughty Sausages are locked in. You know, they did do well in the first part of that round. They were able to find 2 picks, once again, with only losing 1 life of the Buck. But from there, they couldn't eliminate a single player on the site. Kulo just was able to find all the picks that he needed to shut down the attack. And I think for the most part, that Buck jumping in to find that finish, that could have been the game changer. I mean, maybe if they had more vert available to them, they could eliminate the players on the site a little bit better. But also just having that extra man could definitely help, you know, 5v3 situation rather than a 4v3. But I think Naughty Sausages really let that slip from their hands. And going forward, you know, you're 2 maps down. You can't be giving away these rounds like that.
Yeah, no, that Buck jumping in, like you said, I feel like that really was the factor that really changed up everything and really gave a lot of leverage in terms of Kill Squad being able to win out that round, because you are on that armory. Vertical control and the way that you can open up those floorboards with that skeleton key really is a lot of a big factor to take into account, because it really does force a lot of positions to be removed from the players who are bunkering down and utilizing these crossfires. It forces them to rotate, and when they rotate, they can come into the lines of sight, or maybe even just get picked up altogether. But when you isolate these gunfights and force them to be in a position that is a little bit more uncomfortable, and that is really when you can hone in and just start getting your picks left, right, and center. So definitely got to agree in terms of Naughty Sausages need to be a little bit more vigilant in terms of their positioning and how greedy they want to get these confirms, because I believe if they slowed down just that little bit, they would have been able to finish him off in the end.
Yeah, I think, you know, taking that extra step to be that little bit more careful, it's something that, you know, a more experienced player will do, and someone that's, you know, not as sort of antsy, I guess. But you got to remember that Naughty Sausages, they're 2 maps down, so they're going to be feeling the pressure a little bit. So maybe that got to, you know, the Buck in that round. But, you know, they did well to clear the map, so I think we got to credit them there. But now we're on a different site. We're on the CC cache site. And I think with this Monty, if they utilize him very well, there's not really anything to deny his walk-up. They don't have any Legions. They don't have any Malusis. They do have an Azami, but they got to sort of chuck that near the stairs to deny his walk-up. And I don't think they've done that quite yet. But there is 2 in garage. So got to be careful of, you know, the crossfires that they can create. But Monty, he is going to be pushing in rather shortly to take that control. And Azami's actually left him. So it's just Kulo on this this swamp angle that's able to help him there. But the main door is open, so he's going to be careful where he places himself as well. But Rice is there to back him up. And Hale, he's just holding in pool table to try and get a cheeky swing. But Hills is actually going to take a large amount of HP. And Faulty with the M87, he's going to find Harry. I think he swung the breach with that, Elijah.
It worked out well for him. He will get refragged thanks to the low HP. Hale just needing to connect a little bit of bullets to finish him off as well. Monty still doing a lot of contesture on top of the garage now. Wamai still holding there effectively. The discs being a lot of help in terms of those grenades that could come up to him. But he needs to be really cautious on this Monty dropping the shield and trying to bait out these shots. But they really need to clear off this Rafter player as soon as possible without losing his gutting down.
No.
He'll be able to do it successfully as well as 2 kills across the board for Kill Squad go out. Hale falling and Orion falling as well. And leaving it down to just the last 2 players, which is Hills and Captain Oz. And Hills down to just about 1 HP as well. And he's remained outside of that main breach and left Captain Oz all alone to try to get any control. He's remaining onto that main door. There is a player inside of bar as well that Captain Oz needs to be a little bit wary of, and he'll be able to hit the shot first. Kulo falling to that. They'll be down to a 2v3 now. Hill's just remaining this control and stopping anybody from rotating from one side of the site to the other. 59 seconds left, KJ. Do you think that they can do it?
I mean, Hills, he's too low HP, and now he's the only one left on the board. They aren't aware of his position, but that actually is electrified, and I think he might get zapped if he chooses to walk through. But he has to also hit that Azami Kiba barrier, otherwise he won't be able to fit in on that left side. So he's in a tough spot here, and I don't think he can win it out. You know, I do believe in his ability, but it's a lot to ask from a man on like about 5 HP. So Ben is going to clean up his head, and that will be that. But round 3, it's Kill Squads. They find the lead back on Clubhouse. And, you know, they are on the defense, which arguably I'd say is a little bit easier on a map like this. But, you know, this map, we always talk about it. It's been in since the start of competitive, and it was the first rework too. So with the way that the game, well, this map is played, it hasn't changed for a very, very long time. So I think most teams have a good grip on the attack. But the thing is, you got to be, you know, coordinated to deal with the players like the one in Garage. And I don't think they really helped the Monty out. The Monty was stalling out on that one Maya the entire time. And unfortunately, he got meleeed and his shield was thrown to the side. And it was sort of game over for him from there.
Yeah, he did a little work in adding pressure to that Wamaya, but there was nobody really there to, you know, pick up the kill. And when he was getting distracted to the pressure that it brings. So I'm going to have to... I know what you're saying, oh no, to them. That's, you can see the last coming out from Banana as well. And Ben, he's not quite happy about that. I think it might have been him that reinforced it. A little bit of trolling going on. It's going to force the mirror to put it in a different position.
Yeah, Faulty, he's gonna adapt. His own teammates are nerfing him now, so Naughty Sausages, this is your time to find this round and find that that round back to even up the scoreline. As Faulty, he has to do some off-the-cuff adjustments to the hold. And Hale, once again, he is doing so well at taking this Garage so quickly, both on the roam clear for the basement, but also on this site right now. And he's already on this top rafters, so uncontested so far. They know that he's in here now, but they're pushing close to this red. He's going to be careful of the swing, and he's going to shoot. Some damage to be done to Mackenzie. No damage done to Hale. And he's going to fall back, not wanting to contest it just yet. But the wall will be open, so they have that cross. But they have the Valcam. Hell, you are an IQ. Scan for those Valkyrie cameras.
Just focusing on that entry at the moment. The tunnel vision coming out, and he'll be dealt with thanks to the negligence as well. The intel just being shared, allowing you to get a kill that easy. And also swinging aggressively into that breach is going to leave Captain Oz down to about 1 HP. And that is one of your hard breaches as well. Now, take into account that he does have only one of those ace charges left. He did use 2 on the main breach of CC. So, effectively, his job is done. But that man advantage is really the name of the game. Is Harry finding 2 by dropping Logistics Hatch aggressively, as they weren't really ready for it. And that really changes things up here, as Naughty Sausages now have some room to work with as the crossfires go back, left, right, and center. Black Mirror is being utilized effectively as Harry M finds a 3rd kill in the round. Rice being that very last player left alone to try to clutch it back. A C4 going through the windows. We're going to be able to connect. No, narrowly miss him. It'll elude him, and the diffuser will be going down as well. And that default rotate just inside of Logistics.
That round came all down to Harry and his play from dropping the Logi Hatch there. That was a huge push from him, able to find all the space when he found not 1 but 2 kills on that drop. They were just unaware of his position. And if you are Kill Squad, you can't be allowing a play like that to come to fruition. Now, props to Harry for making it work. And I think that really changed the way that that round was flowing. Now, you know, we're back to that 2-2. So Harry keeping his team in this game, in this map, and in this series. 'Cause, you know, without that play, Elijah, I would have said that was going to be, you know, Kill Squad's round.
Absolutely. I mean, the entry for them was just so superior in terms of getting those early picks on their defense. So they completely shut down anybody trying to get that control. And I was thinking that this is Kill Squad's ground easy. Like, they're going to be able to get some advantage in terms of that round numbers. But thanks to the intel that Harry had and just the aggressiveness and confidence that he had behind him, He pulled something out of nothing and really kept his team in the game, which is good. We like to see that from teams, and those sort of plays really makes things exciting and nail-biting.
Yeah, it's a really make or break. You know, if he did drop and he did find himself getting killed, then, you know, already the round was, you know, in a dire circumstance. So when you do go for those off-the-cuff plays, they're either going to work really well or not work at all. So luckily for him, it was the right side of the coin flip. And when you're down 2 maps or down just at all, you got to go for those sort of plays. And if you have the confidence behind you, you know, 9 times out of 10, it's going to work out for you. But Hale, he's going to take a large amount of HP. You know, he's getting rather predictable pushing this garage now, but, you know, it is a staple of clearing this part of the map. And at least he is still alive, but he's on about, you know, 20 HP, I'd like to say. So he's got to be careful with the engagements he takes. And Mackenzie's actually still in stock. So if he's not droned out, he will be able to do some damage here. But if he is droned out, he's sort of stuck here in stock. But Captain Oz is on the lurk. I think he is aware that there is one in stock. He's got the footprints there to help him out. But he's got the pings coming out from the other side. But I think the pings are coming out now, and he's going to take some damage. He's going to drop down the hatch. So once again, he's able to get away with his life, but he's going to swing. Ooh.
That's an uncomfortable angle to try to contest. I commend you for the braveness. Looks like Captain Oz is still going to remain on top of that hatch there. Faulty is going to hold down this secret angle, where very soon he'll be able to find an engagement for himself, because the sound cues of Hills has been revealed as he ran into the Malusi gadget. And the can opener's going out to open up that kitchen hatch, just so you can add some pathways to potentially drop into the site. Hale finding a kill in the process onto Faulty and removing him from play. All of his util has been placed down though, but that gun being up, the MP5, very, very strong aspect to take into account.
I do believe Faulty, he was on that top secret. He was laid prone near the window, so they eliminated that rat position. So well played from Naughty Sausages to be able to be aware of that position and shut him down. But his util is down. You know, those Banshees are in play, and they did take out one. There's still one in this bottom main, I do believe, and a few more elsewhere. But they have these observation blockers to help deny that intel as well. They know where the Azami's playing, though, on that Bat AK's angle. But the time is ticking. They're going to start to work out how they want to execute this. Otherwise, they're going to run out of time, and it's already falling apart as Mackenzie is able to even up things and shut down Orion. That's your buck off the board. That's potentially more vert or, you know, soft destruction to be done. But they have this ash wall open, I think, as well as, you know, any vert that they would need. And Azami's sort of stuck here. So if they can find these 2 picks, you know, Mackenzie's quite low. They're pushing underneath the hatch. The push is coming from that main moto area. So they have that whole site to play with, but Hills will find Mackenzie. Ben's still in here. He's trying to find a pick, but the trades are going out. Kulo on this angle able to find 2. And it's just shots going everywhere. Trades for trades. And it's all left to Rice and Harry in a 1v1. Harry, he's going to be forced to push him. He goes for it. And Rice is able to secure it. That was nail-biting there towards the end. And he just ran on through. Wow.
Man, I don't know if you caught it there, but the intense faces all across for Kill Squad, especially for Ben. I saw his wide-eyed like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened. It was a very close nail-biting end to that round. Wow. Just an explosion into the side when you least expect it. Trade for trade, and that really speaks into how well coordinated these teams are in terms of working around each other and holding each other's crossfires.
Yeah, I think, you know, if Harry knew that Rice wasn't running away there, because I don't think Rice knew that he was getting chased. Maybe he thought that he was going to go for the plant instead, but, you know, if Harry knew that he wasn't running away, maybe he could have had his gun up and, you know, high fire rate gun. Well, maybe not too high of a fire rate, but, you know, it has a lot of ammo in it. You're able to hold it down a little bit. He might have been able to find the kill, and I'd say that was an important round to sway the way of this attacking half for Naughty Sausages, and then they'd be up 3-2. Potential to get that 4-2 scoreline. Oh, this is an interesting BP that you can put between there, and that's going to be able to gain a lot of intel if you choose to open that bottom garage. So if you don't take it out, look at the angle that you can get.
Hopefully they'll be able to spot that one out, because that's going to provide a lot of info. And to anybody pushing into garage or getting on top of those rafters as well, they don't have a Monty this time, so they are choosing a little bit of a different approach in terms of that. But Harry already finding himself inside of the building, going to remain on top in that top floor, getting control into Master, already doing some of that info droning, which we like to see. They have got some people dedicated into construction, so they'll be forced to take that engagement if they so manage to hold that position that entire time and not get a little bit of a siege timing moment. But you can imagine that the drone coming through is going to reveal that they are pushing that angle, but spraying through the wall with the LMG is going to do a lot of damage to Ben in the process, and he'll be forced to push back into the site. And that should be able to give you some leadway in terms of getting control of construction and getting that kill box working. But you are the only player on that site. If somebody chooses to play aggressive into you, there's nobody there to refrag you, which really at the moment is the name of the game.
It is indeed, and the intel. The intel is going to find the likes of Harry, the Amaru, with the C4 being detonated, and I'd imagine that would be off of those Valkyrie cameras as well to figure out where the players of Naughty Sausages are pushing. Now, you know, not all is lost, because Amaru's ability is only really for those rush and quick take plays. You know, you still have these two hard breaches in play, as well as the Thatcher to deny those bandits. So you still have everything you need to make this push work, but you are that man down, and they are aware that there's someone in secret. He is isolated, but he has no one to help him contest that. So for now, Rice is going to stay rather safe here on blue, but Hale, he's actually going to fall victim to the vert from Ben, and they're going to get this wall, but at what cost?
Well, they're all just falling now as just the kills are going out all across the board. Captain managing to get control inside a garage. You can imagine the BP giving away his position and revealing that he's the last person left. And a quick swing out of secret after all that time that Rice was awaiting to find his pick. He'll get it in the end to close out the round. And Naughty Sausages, they are falling further and further.
Once again, this is their map pick, and it's just not going their way so far. You know, there's still their second half. Maybe they are better on that defense, but on a map that is your pick, and even with Oregon, you know, relatively the same sort of play style, you would hope that you'd play a little bit, you know, more dominant, have a little bit more in your favor, but it's not the case when you've got Kill Squad as your opponent, and they were first place for a reason, I guess. You know, they just have that little bit of an edge against these teams, and I think Naughty Sausages, they got to push really hard if they want to make this map theirs and keep themselves in this series.
Getting real dicey now. I'm starting to feel a little bit nervous for Naughty Sausages, as they haven't been able to collect themselves a map yet, and looks like Kill Squad, they are really honing in on closing out this 3-0, especially now that they've switched over to the attack, where I feel like Kill Squad really shine. It makes it just that much more on edge.
Yeah, we just like the tension that, you know, a close game brings, and you know, map 1 definitely provided us with that, and map 2, you know, a little bit more of a dominant performance from Kill Squad. And map 3, still there's second half to be played, but you'd hope Naughty Sausages keep themselves in this. And none of us predicted a 3-0 clean sweep from Kill Squad, so if they managed to do that, they've gone against everyone's predictions, and a clean sweep for them. So hoping for Naughty Sausages, they win at least this next map, so that we can continue this series, we can continue to see this siege action, because I don't want the Nova tournament to be done just yet.
It'll be the end of an era, and speaking of ends though, don't think that they really destroyed that default camera yet, which they've been using to get so much intel on these early engagements. Mackenzie be able to get their very first pick onto Captain regardless of the intel that was displayed to him. He did manage to get a lot of shots into him though, leaving him down to just a few HP, but Hills, reading off of that and the danger that he is sensing, he's going to go back down into secret, see if he can secure himself a little bit more of a safer position. But Harry in the process will be able to clean up Ben, which is your fuse player, which could have had a large impact on how this site is played, as there are a lot of floorboards to use.
Yeah, I think the influential people to take out would either be that Ace or that IQ and Fuse, because they bring so much to this push. You're able to get so much vert and potential kills with those cluster grenades, but You know, they still have this play of the knock on top blue, but Hills, he's got the shots from the carbine, and he's able to shut him down. So no nades to come out from the side of Kill Squad now. And, you know, Mackenzie, like you mentioned earlier, he's quite low. He's setting up this Claymore, so no one's able to get up that ladder without an impact or assistance from the team. But any engagements he takes has to be sharp, has to be on point if he wishes to win the gunfight. But the time is ticking. 1 minute left, and then we just starting to get this vert.
Looking like Naughty Sausages want to secure themselves around here. They still have 2 C4s in the pockets as well. One in the Hail and one on Orion as well. So in terms of stopping and playing aggressive on if they're trying to get that diffuser down or if they're trying to push through a narrow corridor or a hallway, you should be able to connect a C4 if you so time it correctly as well. Hail managing to regain himself control inside of Garage is going to take an engagement into Lounge, but nothing to go at just yet. But the head holes being revealed, the pre-fire is going through as well as Faulty manages to connect onto Harry Yam. He tried to go back, but you're not seeing the Claymore that is displayed right in front of you, and do that, you'll fall, and Hills will find a pick to try to walk it back to a 2v2. So it's back to anybody's game, but Mackenzie being really low HP, I would say the advantage is swiftly swinging in the side of Naughty Sausages as there are only 13 seconds left. Pre-fire goes through the wall. Hills is able to connect onto Mackenzie, and Rice will get the trade onto Hills to take it down to a 1v1. A C4 still in the hands. Rice needs to find the shots here. It's behind the AK. He's not aware of the position. Orion connecting the shot, and Naughty Sausages collecting around.
Oh, you talked about dicey. That was getting rather dicey for the first defensive round for Naughty Sausages. Now, you can't be allowing it to get to those sort of circumstances when you find, you know, those picks in the mid-round. You know, they did lose that opening pick, but, you know, they found some picks back, and all they had to do was play those crossfires. But unfortunately, they were just trading for trades, and luckily for Orion, he held his ground. He didn't make any movement. So Rice wasn't aware of his position, but you can still see that Kill Squad, although they lose the rounds, the mental is high. They've still got the vibes going. You know, they have that 2-map advantage. They're still in that 1-round lead. They're enjoying this grand final. Now, I'm sure Naughty Sausages are enjoying it as well, but they nobody likes to lose. Everybody wants to be a winner. So I'd imagine they want to really lock in and shut this down from Kill Squad and find their own map here in map 3. Now, we're going to go to that CC site, and they're bringing that Fenrir, which we love to see them use, and I haven't really seen it all that much on a clubhouse on this site. So I wonder how Harry is going to utilize it. Maybe for these push up these stairs, and maybe those doorways like garage door and, you know, that con side as well. Definitely can help you.
A lot of versatility that it brings and sort of how you use them, so hopefully it'll be used effectively. Otherwise, you might find yourself falling another round. Now, I don't see any way that it won't work out in Naughty Sausage's favor, so hopefully Fenrir can stay alive and utilize those codes correctly. Trying to bandit trick the wall though. EMP is going to go out as well. You're able to open up that wall unsuccessfully though, as Hail is the man to have if you're bandit tricking any wall. You'll do so successfully in removing 1 exothermic charge as well. I believe he got rid of 1 ace charge. So far a successful trick. That's going to scare them off, force them to rotate to take a different sort of approach. And if there is any to take, looks like they might focus themselves for a little bit of a construction and spar push.
It was the wrong H. It's not Hail, it's Hills, and Hills. He will find the bandit trick, but he won't find the bandit trick on the con single. You know, he will still be focusing on that. Whoa, but an aggressive run out from Orion, but Mackenzie, he's on it. He's switched on and he's able to switch back to that gun just in time.
You hate to see
Frost
it.
getting a little bit too confident there, and that might be a deciding factor. You can't be losing, you know, those picks like that. You can't be, you know, I respect the play, but you got to be confident that you can win a, you know, a play like that.
That's not the position that you want to be in. You're thankfully able to work it back though. Hail trying to get aggressive to make it in your favor, but Ben is ready for the pickup and he'll be able to find the kill successfully and take it to a 3v4 situation. With a minute left, they are doing well for stalling out that time and choking it from Kill Squad, but they've got that man advantage and all the intel to use as well. Now, a little bit of a jump out to remain. That aggression is going to be punished as Kill Squad aren't looking to remove any more of those mistakes. Just waiting for you to make them instead. And you are. You're feeding into them at the moment. Trying to play too aggressive against a team that is well structured and just waiting for you to push into them instead is never going to work out for you. And now they've so much control, they've opened up the construction wall as well, and they're doing a little bit of pre-fires into the deployable shield where they know Harry is playing behind it. And there are no Fenriers on this construction as well, so you're able to push through these doorways hopefully effectively. As the flashes come through, nothing to catch them off as well. As the plane is going down by Rice, no C4s to be able to get tossed, so you're unable to deny that, but the shots will be able to rain through onto Faulty, but immediate trade will be made as Ben doing a little bit of a sneak attack. The Fenrir going up as well, but immediate involves Bly, you're able to shut him down over the rails. Captain Oz finding that pick, but immediately being stuck in a rough position. He's able to heal himself up yet again as Rice is able to retake the site into CC. Immediate push is going to be made, but the AK is going to come out. Will do a lot of pepper damage though, but not enough to really shut him down just yet. Captain Oz making the way to clutch this back. Rice is going to be able to find one in a 1v1 situation now. The reveal position is going to be made as the sound cues are going through, peppering through the walls left, right, and center as you dance around the island of the site, back and forth. Captain's going to push close, but a pistol's going to shut him down, and Kill Squad, they prevail.
The medic almost making that work. You know, Harry M, he found one and then he went down, and there was the player pushing up red, and somehow he was able to res him in time and then find the drop down. Bit of Assassin's Creed style onto her, I do believe it was Banana. And then they found the extra pick on the site, but from there, Harry, he got a little bit too antsy and pushed in without the backup from Captain Oz, and Rice was just able to take those ones, and he did it whilst staying composed and did it with a little bit of style towards the end with the switch to the pistol. So once again, Kill Squad, like you said, they prevail and they push on through map 3, and now they're one round away from getting that match point. So once again, Naughty Sausages, they're on the back foot a third time round.
One round away as well from Kill Squad being able to secure that match point is going to get to you a little bit. It's going to add that pressure. When you've got that much pressure on you and you're thinking about too many things, you're not really focusing on what's in front of you. You don't want to have those thoughts at the back of your minds, because you'll find yourself making mistakes because you're thinking about too much. You're overcomplicating things. Like you said, KJ, it's a lot like cooking.
Yes, and if you don't have the right ingredients, if you're unaware of what you're cooking, it could be lost and the dish will never come to fruition. But for Naughty Sausages, they've got the advantage of the defense. So if they can run down the clock, if they can work together, this is still doable. They don't have to push a site. They don't have to get the diffuser down within 3 minutes or find all 5 kills. They just have to make sure that the plant doesn't go down or find all 5 kills. So they've got a little bit of an easier task. Now, still, they're struggling at the moment, but Hale wants to have a little bit of fun. He wants to play at this cheeky angle.
I'm wondering if they'll drone him out, whether he wants to play aggressive on this angle and find that very first engagement, or to put a little bit of a display of trigger discipline in. And he might be able to work his way past. Now, they're trying to drone out a garage now. Rice will be the person to do that.
Ooh.
Be able to get some information on top.
No.
Position revealed as well. He'll be picked up thanks to that, being punished for his negligence and missing those few shots. The C4 to be tossed out to do a lot of damage onto Mackenzie, but it will not kill him. He'll be able to get away, and still exothermic charges being up. Not punished just yet.
Fortunate for Hale, he didn't play the patient game, and he wasn't really spotted when he did fire those shots. So if he just stayed there a little bit longer, maybe he could have found not just 1 kill, but 2 if they decided to jump through that garage as well. But fortunate for him, he didn't hit the shots when he needed to, and now he's down for the count. So maybe we did curse him earlier. Maybe we cursed his entire playstyle, but it's okay because they've got players like Orion and Harry to back up his team and find the picks back when needed. So Q, he's going to jump outside. He's going to try and find those picks back as he approaches the master window.
Being caught off guard though, will it be Orion? He'll be able to pick up the kill and leave it back down to a 3v3 now, as he's got some leadway to jump into the site. There's nobody really there getting ready to contest, as they are trying to do a downstairs play. Now, they have got maybe 1 pre-place if they haven't used it yet, but Captain Oz still has the C4 in his hands. So with the cardiac sensor on this side, it is a huge factor to take into place, because the only place you can really sit comfortably and get that plant down is the bed. But if you're able to use that UMP effectively, you could be able to shoot up through the floorboards and get a little bit of a toss, but you'll be able to hit your shots. Flurry of kills going through the site will leave it all up to Captain Oz, and he, like I said, still has that C4. He'll be tossed up through the floorboards, unable to connect though. He's got a shotgun, so he needs to be a little bit careful on how he takes his engagements. Shotgun to go out to do a little bit of damage, but nothing really to connect, and they're just going to rotate away safely and play those long angles. Now that the diffuser is down, it should be relatively easy to do so, but both the players, Mackenzie and Kulo, are low HP, but Mackenzie playing closer to the diffuser is able to shut him down, and Kill Squad able to secure themselves a match point.
Oh, naughty sausages. You're in the situation where, once again, you have to come back, but this time round, you have to find 3 rounds in a row. Otherwise, this is GG right here, and that is the best 5 done and dusted, and that's the grand final done and dusted, and that is the Nova tournament done and dusted for this season. So, you know, naughty sausages. Give us some more. Give us some more action. We want you to still be in this. You know, we did predict Kill Squad to win, but we predicted at the very least a 3-1 victory for them. So prove us all wrong. Make the impossible happen and come back. We definitely know you have the potential to do so. You just got to find it within yourselves to let it happen.
This match point, KJ. This might be the last time. The last round that he cast, effectively.
Well, at least for a long while.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It's an emotional moment.
It's an intense moment as well. Not only just for the players on the viewers, but for us as well. Yeah. We want to see some more maps. We let it go too early.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like I'm going through a breakup all over again.
It's never a fun time to deal with that. I'm here for you.
Thanks, man.
We can cast off stream.
We can cast off stream. But, you know, we still have this round to go. So, we still have, you know, some action ahead of us. And let's hope that Naughty Sausages keep themselves in this. So that we don't have to leave everybody just yet. We don't have to leave each other. And Captain Oz is going to take a large amount of HP, but he's going to take some drones in the process. And Hills is actually going to take the head off of Ben. So, that's your IQ off the board. Now, if you are Naughty Sausages, play it smart, play the pick, and rotate back down. You do have the advantage of it being the basement side, so you could always do that. And we can see here, if they do manage to stay in this, they do manage to win this map. We will be going... Oh, why is that?
Yeah. I was looking at that. I was like, panic? I was like, panic? Kill Squad? Panic's made his way back into the site. Production? In the middle of the map as well. I mean, Hills is going to be able to find a pick. 2 picks as well. A triple to get a really good leadway into this map. Naughty Sausages looking like they don't want to let it go just yet. Kill Squad narrowly hanging on. Looks like they won't be able to clutch this out at all, depending on how you manage to hit the shot. A quad kill for Hills as he looks for the ace. Secondary SMG to come out, but you'll be shot down and denied. Your ace is faulty. He's managed to hit the shot first. And he's going to have to do an ace of his own if he wants to clutch this back. You can see the impacts being ranged, just adding that pressure. Orion getting off at just the wrong time to do a lot of damage to Faulty, but not to pick him up just yet. But he'll manage to be able to find the kill instead. A double for Faulty so far. He has got the diffuser back and recovered into his pockets. With a minute left to do so, and you're just on about 15 HP. You can imagine that Naughty Sausages need to refresh here. They've still got a player upstairs who could potentially come for that lurk as well. Faulty might be aware of it, but it looks like he's going to remain and do a little bit of an aggressive play into blue. But the Fenrir making it just that much harder for you to sit comfortably. It's going to make your heart race.
Yes, it is. And I guess he's just, you know, taking his time, really trying to run down the round so that they can talk about how they want to maintain that match point and that lead and not let this map slip away from them. But for, you know, Naughty Sausages, they want to try and end it as quickly as they can. They want to keep this momentum. They want to keep this map going, and it is their map pick. They want to take the map win, and Harry is going to shut it down there, but we're going to give the credit to Hills there. You know, some of those kills came off screen, but he really held his own, and on an operator that we don't usually see frag out all that often, you know, Thorn. It's a low fire rate gun. It does pack a little bit of a punch, but he managed to shut down and dismantle this side of Kill Squad. And for the most part, I'd like to say that he's been pretty consistent for Naughty Sausages today in this series. He did well on Oregon. He did well on Border. he's doing really well here on Clubhouse as well. So if his teammates can get behind him and, you know, help him get those kills in these next 2 rounds, they can make this this dream come true. They can stay in this game.
All about this next round, though. I feel like it fell apart relatively quickly for Kill Squad in the last, and I don't believe they should let that mistake happen again. So I'm thinking that we're going to see a little bit of a closer round in this round specifically, but I'm hoping that Naughty Sausages do take us that little bit further and take us to our overtime. We want to see that overtime, which we so love that Naughty Sausages makes time and time again. They did it a lot against Bandits. Our very first map on Oregon, they did. But they've just been struggling just that little bit more now that we've switched over to a different map. But they can't make a mistake here, KJ. Not one. Not a single mistake now.
They
so
can't.
If there's any time to bring out your aggressiveness, it's now. Right now.
Yeah, they need to, you know, all the tricks that you have up your sleeve, you know, what are you saving it for? It's the grand final. You can release it all now. They have the Monty, but I did see that the Frost is in play. So if there is a Frost mat on those top of the stairs, they can't deal with it. Well, at least the Monty can't. And he will run right into it. So they have to waste a nade or some sort of util. If the Monty doesn't spot it out, though, he could fall victim. And that's the entire garage push sort of dismantled and can favor the way of Naughty Sausages. So maybe they read into this. Maybe they knew that they were going to play the Monty. And when you have a Fenrir gadget coming into play as well, able to blind your Monty, he's not going to be able to see himself run into the Frost mat. So if they can stop this drone from drawing that out, could definitely be useful for the Monty. But the Fenrir gadget just coming into play and forcing the Monty to just wait.
Hopefully you'll be able to add that pressure. Hale still remaining below into Oil Pit. I don't know if they are aware of his position. He's got a C4 as well, so if they don't drone him out and realize that he is playing here, a C4 could be tossed up onto those stairs and it'll catch him off guard as well. The Frost mat being there, it's going to force you to drop your shield as well. You can't really walk around that, so you need to get either your teammate with a frag grenade potentially to clear it out, or otherwise Monty won't be able to go to the very top of those stairs. Now, Enzi will check that Oil Pit. He will be able to see the forehead of Mozzie. The C4 to be tossed to do half the damage to Mackenzie, but not enough to collect him up just yet. The Monty shield still remaining up is going to add a lot of pressure. Grenades going below is going to be able to clear the util off. Open up the wall as well. Should come to you quite easily.
Oh,
no!
My God!
Again, if there's a man to have that you want to bandit trick, it will be Hills, but the pistol player will come out of Mackenzie, and he'll be able to connect the kill, ADSing across the entirety of the garage. On top of that, Ben will be able to find a pick for himself. KJ, yellow ping's going out. Harry M's doing what he can to keep the player in his rounds, but Mackenzie with a pistol play is going to try to find another kill, as he's already found 2, and so much pressure coming in. Captain Oz is going to do all he can to hold down the side as Harry M tries to go for a sneaky play, but he'll find it down, but immediately get traded out before he can get the confirm. Now, the shotgun playing aggressive up against Monty, up close and personal. C4 to go out to try to deny the plant. It'll do so unsuccessfully as the Fenrir gets popped. Rice can't see a thing. Captain Oz is low HP, and Rice will connect a shot first. Ladies and gentlemen, you know them as Kill Squad, but ladies and gentlemen, here at Nova Tournament, we know them as winners of the series.
And that is your grand finalist, Kill Squad, taking that title, taking the win here, and taking this season. They take the prize pool, and they take, most importantly, the W. So, 7-4 victory. We did predict the 7-4, 7-5 for this map, but we were hoping it would sway in the way of Naughty Sausages, but unfortunately, they weren't able to find any sort of mark on this series at all, and they go, you know, unscathed. Kill Squad, not dropping a single map. And a dominant season from them entirely. Not only did they dominate in that regular season, they dominated in the winner bracket as well, not dropping a single match. So you got to give credit where credit's due, and you know it just shows that they deserve that grand final. They are undefeated in that playoffs, and we gotta give it to them. But you know, as a series as a whole, and that last map, Elijah, we have the interview.
We do have the interview to congratulate our lovely winner of our champions, Kill Squad. big congratulations to all the boys there, just being dominant throughout the entire series. As you can see it get displayed. Big congratulations to all of these guys. I never doubted them for a minute. I thought it was going to be closer. Naughty Sausages is falling, but in the end, who can fault Kill Squad? They worked hard.
They really did, and we got to credit each and every player. Mackenzie, Faulty, Banana, Kulo, and Rice, as well as those subs that have filled in, and as well as the coaches. We don't know what they do behind the scenes with the scrims and whatnot, but they definitely worked hard this season, and they worked hard for this win here in the playoffs to make it to the grand final and then secure themselves that victory. So congrats to them. Enjoy that prize pool and that title of holding it for now, I guess, because when it comes to it, season 2, they gotta hold that title.
We got a little bit of a face behind the players this time to congratulate our winners now, as we'll be able to welcome Mackenzie to the interview and the very lovely casting desk that we have. Mackenzie. What a very, very exciting game for you guys. Not only winning out the entire series in fashion as well, but didn't drop a single map in your BO5. You turned it into a BO3 in the end. How are we all feeling right now?
Oh, the boys are pretty gassed. It all went pretty according to plan. So no big hiccups. So we were pretty happy.
Yeah, you guys seemed really, really prepared for tonight. I mean, obviously Oregon, a bit of a closer game. You went to that overtime with that 8-6. But Border, your map pick, you definitely shined on there in a 7-2 victory. Was that something that we've seen? I think we've seen you play it before, but you really sort of dominated on that map. Was that something you prepared for tonight?
Yeah, as much as we have everything else, like they obviously knew how we played, and it was a quick adaptation here and there, and we were kind of sorted. So
yeah, it looks like you guys had a lot of fun there. Look, watching you guys play, that was just incredible. You guys really dominated that entire season, and by the looks of it, you guys are really, really comfortable. Are you guys thinking of staying as this stack and moving forward to other tournaments in the future?
Well, we've already had some changes, and even throughout the Nova season, we went from Zuve to Jam, we've had Seven and Funkin to Kilo. Like we've had all the boys. Shout out to all the boys, because they're still our mates, and we've been playing with them has been awesome. But going forward, we still don't really know what's going to happen. But as long as we got some of the call outs together, we're always gonna have some fun. So.
Well, that's what it's all about, having fun and enjoying the competitive side of Siege. But, for the most part, it looked like you guys were having a lot of fun tonight as well. So is there any sort of words you want to say, to your opponents and any fans in the chat about tonight's performance?
Oh, well, I think for sure we had the most fun in Oregon. That was the close one. It was intense. That's when we get excited. When it's in overtime, we don't lose that, and that's when it's probably the most fun. So it was really enjoyable to play, and well played to Naughty Sausages. In the preseason, they absolutely smoked us, and it could definitely have happened today, but we handled them pretty well. But well played to them.
Awesome, yeah. Another big congratulations to you guys. So we'll let you go so you can go celebrate with the rest of your team and take a little bit of a breather after those intense matches. So big thank you to you, Mackenzie. We'll see you another time.
Thank you, Mackenzie.
Yeah, like I said, big congratulations to those guys, because they were able to win that very, very lovely prize pool. I mean, both of the teams did, but obviously the winners are the people that we're here for. So speaking of prize pool, let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at what these guys were able to collect for themselves, KJ.
Yeah, so we have this juicy prize pool of 2,500 Australian dollars, and first place, Kill Squad, they take that $1,200. So, a nice little split between their players. And for playing Siege, you get rewarded with being the best, and, why not give them a nice prize pool, and maybe they can spend it on skins or anything that they're saving for, that money can go towards. So, a bit of fun for playing a game that we all enjoy and love. So, $1,200 to Kill Squad, and in second place, Naughty Sausages, who unfortunately fell short today in the best of 5 grand final. They will collect themselves $700 to split between their team. And, we got to give them credit. During the regular season, they had a little bit of a rough start. and then they definitely picked up towards the later half, and they got all the way to the grand final. So even though they lost today in what was a quite a dominant, fashion, they made it all the way here, and they made it through the lower bracket after getting knocked out of the winner bracket. So I think, we got to give them credit for making it all this way. But then obviously third and fourth place will be Bandits and Panic, taking home $300. But, what a season, Elijah.
Exactly, like what a season. And yeah, I feel like it's about due time that we have a look back at the season as well. And we can have a look at today's games specifically. See the results for those ones. So anybody who missed some of those, we can pull it up again. And you see it was a very, very close fixture for both of these teams as they faced off against Oregon. An 8-6 result it was. And obviously Kill Squad not dropping a single map as they headed over to Border as well, a 7-2. So it started to slip just a little bit more for Naughty Sausages, as it looks like Kill Squad were really, really comfortable here. Their predictions that we all guessed as well, not looking like we could really think about this being a 3-0, KJ.
Yeah, I don't think anybody guessed it would be that, quick and that dominant from Kill Squad. The only people that thought it was going to be a 3-1 was Chef, putting in Naughty Sausages to take it 3-1, and Ling putting it in as 3-1. So everybody thought that would go to that fourth map, which would have been Skyscraper. So a defense-heavy, map that we usually see. And then Theme Park was the final map. So both defensive-sided maps, for sure. So I wonder if, we did get to that map, whether or not, we would end it on Skyscraper, or if we would go all the way to that Theme Park. But, unfortunately, it's just going to be a dream for now. We don't get to imagine it. We do get to imagine it, but we don't get to see it for our very selves. But, our prediction, Elijah, 3-2. We both thought the same. We're on the same wavelength, but it didn't come, we didn't get to that fifth map. It would have been lovely.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully one day, right? We want to see a very, very long and hard-fought game of Siege, and that's what we're really all here for in the end. And I guess I'll give Kill Squad another congratulations, because now I guess we can see their team actually move forward to be the winners of the bracket that we can see. If we want to have a look at their season and how it's unfolded against all of the teams now, as you will see, just Kill Squad dominate that winners bracket, as they didn't lose a single time. They knocked everybody down to that lowest bracket, where Naughty Sausages did really well to work themselves. They back all the way through that lowest bracket from start to finish to try to get closer to that grand final, but just falling short when it mattered the most. So as you can see, a 3-0 for that grand final. They got to feel good about that, KJ.
They definitely do. And for the playoffs, the only team that was able to take one map from Kill Squad was Bandits in that winner bracket semi-final. Kill Squad still took the W, but Bandits, the only team in the playoffs to take at least one map from them. Because even in the grand final, Naughty Sausages, they came close on that map 1, but they weren't able to take any maps from Kill Squad. So unfortunate for them. And in that first time in winner bracket round 1, they weren't able to take a single map either. So it's a bit of a deja vu moment for them, and unfortunate. But look at the achievement that they made through the lower bracket. After they lost that round 1 in the winner bracket, they got knocked down after Trident beat Nutty, and they took on Nutty and they won 2-0 against them. And then they won 2-0 against Panic, who got knocked out from Bandits in the winner bracket. So they had a clean sweep in their halves, in their parts of the lower bracket, and then they had a close fought semi-final in the lower bracket to get themselves to the grand final. So we got to give them credit that they made it all that way. They played 5 games in total in the playoffs, Elijah. So Kill Squad, they only played 3.
They put in the work, and it really showed out. I don't think, I think about halfway through, when I noticed that Naughty Sausages were just winning games after games in their lower bracket, I think when we hit about that Naughty Sausages versus Panic game, or even Naughty Sausages versus Bandits, I think in my heart I knew that our end grand final was going to be Kill Squad going up against Naughty Sausages, and that was is what happened. And I feel like I wanted it to be a little bit closer, but Kill Squad, they are so dominant at the moment. So again, another congratulations to those guys, and I think that's pretty much it for all of us. I mean, KJ, a Nova tournament for this season at least, it's done. We don't have to cast for a little while now.
It's done and dusted. And, you know, we got to give a big thank you to all the people that made it happen. Obviously, you know, Kratos, Ling, Alex, you know, Chef, Psycho, Soraya, all the people that make it work. We got to thank them, as well as all the teams that competed as well, for making it competitive and making it fun for us to cast and see you all play and have a good time. We got Altered Edge, Arena, Bandits, Kill Squad, Riot, Nutty, Panic, Trident, NDE, and Naughty Sausages. And that was the Season 1 team. So a big thank you to all of you for competing and giving it a go, and really giving us something in this off season of the official, tournaments from Rainbow to enjoy, and give Elijah and I this opportunity to cast and, you know, grow with that. So a big thank you for all your support, and we really do appreciate it. But Elijah, any last words?
The last words that it really is. It hurts to admit. You know, we've been here for quite a while. We'll have something. It's not all it for us though. We'll have something in the coming weeks for you guys to stick around for. So definitely, if you guys want to head over to the Nova Tournaments Twitter, give that a little bit of a follow. There will be some updates there on what we have for you guys, and we'll hopefully see you guys again in the future. But until then, that is really it for us. So from all of us here at Nova Tournament, from the admins to the players to the casters to the hosts, we love you guys. We'll see you guys again in the future. See you guys then.
We love you. Bye.